I guess the question is, how are you with your lineups?
Pretty decent.
He knows way more lineups than me, so I'm sure he can do it.
All right, then we've chosen the correct competitors. Gentlemen, if you could stand, oh, let's say there. Just there. Say right here. Does that feel like a fair distance? Rotterdam, make some noise. Put your hands together for the perfect toss. You get 5 tries. Ready for the first. Make some noise.
Let's
Here
go.
we go. Oh, that was so much better than I expected. Number 2. Oh my God! 2 shots? Are you kidding me?
That was good shot.
Can you believe it? Oh, we're even gonna try for the
Take your time.
extras.
Take your time, man. Take your time.
All right, you were already winning the prize. You've already secured it, but you know what? What the hell? Let's see what the percentage is. Basha, can you believe this?
That was, I don't know, that's a global elite, like a shot or catch.
What do you think his max elo is based on that?
Let's ask him, what is your max elo?
In prepare?
こんばんは。
80.8.
よ
Well,
ろしく
okay,
お願い
I
します
ask you.
My max was 7.8.
Hi.
7.8. And you're catching like that.
I'm going
あ、ちょ
solo
っと
till I'm like 12k.
ね。
But, I mean, this season was 7.8.
あ
The
と
previous one,
どのぐらいですか？
9.8
20
All
分
right, if
ぐ
you
らい。
catch this next one, 20K.
まあ
Okay.
始まるまで。
Mike, how many shots more for them?
Well, they were gonna go for it. They already won, but well, let's do one more for the crowd. What do you think?
酒
Make
で
some
も飲
noise,
みながら
Rotterdam!
そこまでの時間潰しましょうか。
Oh! 2 out of 3, and that means you're not gonna win just
Yeah.
one, but 2 pieces of merch for both of you. You're gonna win a sweatshirt and hat. Put that one on your dome, sir. Grab yourself a sweatshirt. We got a couple sizes there. We'll exchange them if you need to later on.
ないとは思い
Throw
ますけ
that
ど。
hat on top
いやー
and
な
the
んか
sweatshirt as well. Congratulations. I want to get what's on your mind right now. How did you pull this one off? He's eating a pancake. Basha, how do you pull it off?
な
Pure
んか
skill.
な、
Pure skill. Teamwork.
31になって、
teamwork, and catching a lot of nades.
Hatching
見
a
たいバ
lot
ラ
of
エティ
nades.
番
Okay, I
組
need
があ
to
って
ask,
ね、
what is
ア
your
ベ
role
マ
in Counter
TV、
Strike?
なんか久しぶりに契約してね、
Support, Sniper,
見
IGL.
たいやつ見てたんですけど、
Entry.
なんかそれも見終わってね、
Entry. I mean, first in, he
何
got
見
the
ようかな
opener.
ってなって、
What about you?
The sacrifice.
チャンスの時間、
And that's why he's the one catching the nades, folks.
なんかいろ
Well,
んな
let's
芸
hear it
人の
one
いろ
more
んな
time for
話と
you
かを聞いて、
champions, victors of the perfect
多分今までだっ
toss.
たら
Let's hear
そんな
it,
こと
Rotterdam.
まあ思わなかったんでしょうけど、
And now one more question for you, gentlemen. We got one more series today. You've already
Yeah.
succeeded once. Let's see if you can get the predictions
Yeah.
right here.
俺っ
Who's gonna win?
てプライド高いんだなっていうのを
PARIVISION,
なんかふと思ってね、
3-2
2日前3日前ぐらいか
3-2.
な。
Brother, it's a BO3.
でちょうどそ
Okay,
れを思った
let's see. You know which game they
そ
play?
の次の日かな、まあ
Which
その
game
日
they
の
play?
夜
You know
に
which game or no?
まあ10年ぐらい一緒に
Which
ゲー
game
ム
they
して
play?
ね、
You know
フ
which
レン
game?
ドの人も一緒に
Or,
ゲームし
but
て
he's
て、
experts. Ask him, ask him.
いや
I
なんか
think
俺ってプライ
PARIVISION
ド
gets it
高
2-0.
高いですよねみたいな。
2-0. We got a 2-0.
なんかそ
We
れ
got
今
a 2-1.
日気
What do
づ
we
いた
think
んです
about
けど
now,
みたいな
Rotterdam?
話し
Oh,
た
he's
ら、
going in for more.
もうなん
He's
か
not satisfied. He's still hungry. Are
後
we
で気
hungry
づ
for
いて
some
な
more
かったんだっ
Counter-Strike
ていう
here,
ふうに言われ
Rotterdam?
て、
That's what I thought. We'll be back in a
自
flash.
分のこ
Make
と
some
は
noise.
なかなか気づけないなというかね、まあ多分今の年齢にならなかったら、まあ気づいてても受け入れられなかっただろうなみたいな、そんな気持ちになりながら、まあここ2日3日ぐらい過ごしてるわけですけど、そういうねこととかね、まあみんなも経験してそういうのはあったのかななんて思うと、まあ誰しも通る道なのかななんて思ったりね。そんなことを思いながらの今日のファルコンズパリ戦ですけど、なかなかね、このまあ前回ドンクの試合見て、まあドンク一人でもうなんか味方を信用してないでね、なんかやってるようなプレースタイルとかもなんか見たりしてね、なんかそれのインタビュー記事とかもまあこれは後でとりあえず
think
い
they're
や
gonna
本
go to the
当
playoff.
に
I
なんだ
think
ろう
them
な。
at the major will have so much motivation to showcase themselves that people miss out on them.
ただ
I've seen them develop
まあ話
for,
したい。
for past
ただ
year,
自分が
how they
先
grind
に酔
for
っ
the
払
title
って話したい
is
だけの
reminding of what we saw in COVID times, the old gambit
この
line.
10分
Now
15
they
分ですけど、
skyrocketed and stayed in the top, but they could never win. And I
何
think
なんだろうな、なんか
Foot's way of grinding to the top is probably the most healthy because they take step by step. By that, I think they
と
enjoy the
前
journey
ま
way
では
more
ね、
than
まあ
them going straight into
まあ
a
野球もやっ
final and
て
they
たし、
believe now they're the best.
まあ高校の時はサッカーがまあまあ強かった高校だから、なんかサッカー部の友達とね一緒に遊んだりして、まあ、やっぱ野球だとなんかうまいねピッチャーの球で打席立ってみたいなとか、まあ、サッカーだとその頃ねメッシ、クリロナのレアル・バルサのクラシコが一番盛り上がってた時期だから、まあ、そういうサッカー部の友達とね遊んでると、まあ、そういうのも自然となんか分かってきてというか、そういうのを知ってなんか実際にねディフェンスに自分がなってみて、メッシとかクリロナのねスピード感のあるドリブルでちょっとなんか抜かれてみたいなとか、まあ、FPS だとそうだな、当時 CS やってたから、まあ、上手いプレイヤーと当たって、まあ、どんぐらいなんか自分と基準が違うのかというかね、どんぐらい早くへっしょ抜かれて、どんぐらい歯が立たないんだろうみたいなね、なんかそういう初心者というかなんというかね、上手い人見つけて、なんかどんぐらい違うのかっていう、それを実際に体験してみたいなっていう。
Well, I think we
そう
are
いう
better
気持
prepared
ち
this
で
time.
ずっと
We obviously rewatched the last time of the
生きてきまし
games
たけど、
from the last time we played them, and
まあそ
we
れが
did some
10代
mistakes that we
本当
shouldn't
後
have done.
半
But
ね
I
20
think we
代
have a good idea of how
前
they play,
半
and
はまあそうい
I
う
think
気
it's
持
gonna
ち
be
はあっ
a
たけ
close
ど、
and nice game.
The Falcons is
なんか
like
気づいたらね20代半ば
not the
後
best
半、
one
まあ
in CS
今
right now.
ちょうど3
And
日前ぐらいとか、
even
まあ
like
そのぐらいまではね、
versatility, we are comfortable and like we feel comfortable against
弱い
everyone.
自分を
Well,
見
there
せない
seems to be
よ
a
う
lot
に
of
というかね、
confidence,
自分の
whatever you
そ
really
の
want to call it,
弱い部
degree
分と
on
か、
both sides
まあ
where
コンプレ
mistakes
ックス
have
みた
been
いな
made
とこ
but
ろ
false
を
and learned from.
まあそうい
I
う
don't
の
know
を
why I'm so excited for this game, but it just really gets
自
me
分
going.
でも見たく
Maybe
ない
it's
し、
because of the
人
disappointment
に
that
も
Falcons have
見せたくないしみ
consistently
たいな
put
ね、
on me.
そういうの
Or
があ
is
る
it just
と
like the fact that PARIVISION actually had showed great counts, right?
ね
I don't
プ
know
ライ
about
ド
you,
が
Mike.
It's a little bit of column A,
最初
column
は
B. I
ね
mean, you've got a
薄
Falcons
い一
team
枚
that
の
is
その
is
プライド
shaping
でも
up. They're just looking a little
ま
bit
あ年月
cleaner
が
overall,
ね
not as
時間
many
が経っていくにつれ
characteristic
てそれがどんど
fumbles,
ん
I
重
would
なって
say,
いっ
and then
て
PARIVISION on the other side bouncing back off of a disastrous
感じ
ESL
で
Pro League in a way that I would say is fairly
よ
predictable.
う
They
や
were
く
getting
ね
a little bit burnt out
よ
on
う
the,
やくそれ
the
に
tier
自
one
分で
travel schedule. So now
ふと
that
気
they're
づい
back
て
in arena,
ね
it's good to see them where they belong.
うわ
Yeah, it's nice to see both of them, but I didn't
Konna
think
jamana
that we would have this
pride
rematch so early
あったん
on
だ
in
な
the
っていうのを
quarterfinals. I think maybe some people
気づ
had
くと
them
なん
as
か恥
more
ず
of a
かしいと
favorite
い
to
うか
make it
ね
onto that semi-final, skip this little
恥ずかしい
bit of
か
a step, but they both
何
arrived
や
here,
ってんだ
right?
ろう
They're
な
in
みたいなね
Rotterdam. They're looking to come up against each other, and I feel like it's going to be a much
こんな
closer
感じで
series than what our first quarterfinals was.
There is no doubt that the
最近は
favorites in this one has to be the
思ってますけ
Falcons.
ど
When you have superstars like Kyusuke, superstars like Manesi and Nico,
あでも
and potentially even the greatest coach of all time,
結局
there is a lot of pressure and a lot of
まあ
expectation on your head. I think we can safely say that Falcons have never met those
自
expectations.
分
Whenever
一
this
人
team
で
has
ね
been created, we expected them
ま
to
あそれ
go
を
and
思
win
って
trophies,
考
but it
え
has
てで
not
もいい
been
け
the
ど
case. We've
な
seen
ん
that they
か
have
な
tried different approaches, different approaches, left,
なん
right,
か
center,
話した
but it's
く
never really been
な
working
っ
for
ちゃ
them.
う
They are
話し
now
て
looking to take a stage
納
to
得して
showcase
も
that
ら
they
い
can
たい
play
という
great
か
contract that they cleaned up, and
な
I'm
んかで
excited to
話
see if
す
we have
ことに
Sonic
よ
have
っ
figured out
て
to
自
become
分
a
で
champion by not letting them play face it.
自分で話して自分で
Feels
聞い
like
て
there's
納
a bit
得
of
するというか
revenge
ね
in the air here
まあそんな感じで
in Rotterdam. Do you
まあ
feel
ちょ
like
う
you
ど
can
自分の
take
中
back a
の
win here this time round?
タイムリーなね出来事なんで
There's always crowd support wherever you go when it comes to Team
まあ
Falcons.
酒飲ん
You're
で
a super team and everybody loves to
一
see you
旦
perform. How
話し
much
てみてって
do
いう
you enjoy performing on big stages like this?
そんな感じですけど
And how has preparation been over the past few days coming into the main
いや
stage?
I think we prepared well. Also individual part, I think we prepared well. Because we were like against
Ah.
individual, against Fury, I think. And I think now we are ready.
And as an individual, do you put a lot of pressure
ま
on
あとりあえ
yourself
ず
to
は
perform?
ね、
Not like a pressure, but I want to perform better than I did.
まあ
I think that's a nice sort of mindset for him to have, where it's
まだ
not so
何
much
が
pressure, but I
どう
do
で
still
どう
want
な
to
のか
perform
自
well.
分
It's
の
finding
中で
that
も分か
balance
っ
of
てないから
yourself, of living up to what your own
まああれ
internal
だけど
expectations are, Maui, but also knowing that there is
まあ自
still
分
a
の
Goliath in the path of making it to the semifinals.
Oh, without a
下
doubt.
手
I
な
mean, it's a matchup
ゲー
that
ム
they
で
are
も
all
下
too
手なと
familiar
ころ
with.
と
It's
か
one
ね、
that they are ready to get some
まあ自
revenge on,
分
and
の
they've
弱い
used
と
two
ころ
different
であっ
lineups.
たり
But
とか、
if Falcons
自 分
are the
の
brawn, then PARIVISIon you would consider
見
the
せたくない
brain,
部分
the brain trust of
って
Dastan
いうの
and
も
James, the way that they're
な
getting
んかちょっ
this
と
group
ず
of
つ
ragtag
まあ出す
faces
練習を
poke
ね
stars into deep tournament runs
こういう
as
ところで
consistently. Nobody on your screen
ま
for
あしながら
PARIVISIon
やれ
is
た
going
ら
to
いい
be a
なっ
top
ていう
20
ね。
player this year, but without a shred of doubt, James has re-entered the conversation as one of the 5 best in-game leaders
とりあえ
in the
ず
world.
試合始まるま
Listen,
で
this is a team that you know very well in Team Falcons. You've enjoyed a lot of success over them as of late. Do you think you've got the edge once again here today, and why?
Yes, I think we will. Why? Because we will play better.
なんか
Are you worried about the fact
その
that they
そうだ
always
な
have a
ま
lot
あ
of crowd
そう前
support
回の
with them, and that's
そ
going
う
to
ド
be
ン
the
ク
case
の
once
ね
again
試合
today?
とかを見て
Or do you just put that to aside?
なんかいいイン
I
タ
don't
ビ
care
ュ
about
ー記事
it.
が
I just
あ
will
ったん
enjoy
ですよね、ドンクとメジ
fight
ーの
energy, you know. They'll cheer
まあ
for
ドンクに
Falcons,
関しても
but it will be anyway amazing, amazing.
本当
Always a lot of
ね
talk
試合
about you
見て
guys
ると
proving yourselves over and over
そん
again
な
as
感じだ
an
ったし
elite
ね
contender in Counter-Strike. Is this
私たち
just
はチーム
another
で
day in the
なかった
office
と
for you, or do you think about that?
このインタビュー
proving
記事とか
yourselves
もね
against
まさ
the
に
top team?
本当その 試合
We're
で
not still elite team, you know.
見たま
We
まと
can
いう
lose,
かね、
we can win.
まあドンクもそういう気
We
持
need
ち
to
で
be more
やってた
consistent.
んだなっていうね、意見の役割のバランスが取れてないと思うし、すべてコミュニケーション中心に回ってます。チ
I
ー
hope
ムと
today
して
will
一つの決定すらできません。時には
prove
私たちはそもそもチームではなかったと。
Feels
まあ
more
オー
like
バ
a
ーパスの
double
試合が本
whammy
当そう
then,
だよ
I
な
would。say, for the side of PARIVISIon, where it's showing that it isn't just one of these things that, oh, Falcons wasn't in form and that's
本当
why
デビュ
we
ーし
got the
て
better of them. It's saying
1年ぐらい
we are better than them,
なんかア
and
カデ
there is
ミーかなんかに
longevity
いて、
in our
でト
roster.
ッ
There is
プチー
longevity
ム
in
の
us
スピリットに
staying
上がっ
at a
て、
tier
で
1
1位
level,
取ってって
making
感
it
じ
to
だよね。
playoffs,
年
playing
間
in
の
front of
1位も
crowds.
取って、
We'll see. Only
まあ
time
今
will
のス
tell
ピリット
regarding
のロー
that
スター
because
と、
as it's gone
まあ
so
チョッパ
far,
ー
you
と
win
マ
a
ティニア
trophy to
が
kick
ま
the
あ
year
変わっ
off
てる
with
ぐらい
the
で、あ
Blast
んまり
Bounty
大きく
event,
変わっ
but
てな
then
い
you
し、
don't even have any
その
really
チームで
semblance of a run all the
1
way
位を取っ
back
て、
at Krakow, at Cluj,
で
you're in the grand finals again, then at
同じ
EPL,
ほ
you're
ぼ同
falling
じ
out
メン
once
バー
again
で
in the group
今度は
stage,
う
and
まくい
now
って
you're
ない
back.
ってい
So
う
it feels
なん
like
か
it's a polarizing team. It's a team that
辛いというか
one game to the next, one tournament to the
言えない
next,
感
the
じですけ
gamble
ど、
stacks that James calls will work in your favor, but they can also buy you. So you're living by the sword and you're
対
dying
照
by
的
it
に
too.
ね、こ
Without
の
doubt,
メ
that
ジ
also
ー
where
の
the experience just
やっぱイン
doesn't
タビュー
shine
がす
through
ご
for
く
them. Whenever if they have
いい
this
な
roller
っていう
coaster,
ふうに
results coming into tournament,
思って
that
ね。
also just speaks for them, having issues, maybe staying true to what
ま
they
あス
actually
ピ
feel
ン
like
ク
is
ス
working
い
for
た、
them.
まあ去年
I
1
think
年
for the
前
likes
ぐ
of
らいの
PARIVISIon, at least
バ
for
イ
the
タ
eye
リティ
test,
ではね、メ
that
ジ
is what has impressed me, and that's
ま
why
あ
I
どうの方のみ
I
たいな
decided to be so,
そうい
I
うの
wouldn't
も
say in love with them, but at least the way
あったりと
they
か、
have impressed
Say
me.
it. You put it out there. Say what
You
you
love
その中で
No,
ね、
I love the idea of
I adore
them.
their playstyle more like it.
本
That's
当
more.
去年
I
と
think
か
that is
一昨年か、
one that
一
stood
昨
out
年
to
の
me
メ
the
ジ
most,
ー
and
が
I
こん
think
な
that
感
is
じだったろう
also
な。
what I
なん
want
か
to
レ
see
ーティン
more.
グと
Okay,
か
and I also
試
want
合
to be
の
seeing our series
ね
get a
成
little
績と
bit
か
closer. For that, we need a
た
bit
まに
more
バイタリティ
information.
の試合見て
That
たか
comes
ら
in the form of a map
ザイ
beta.
ウスピンクスの
Talk
ね
to
2
me
人が
about the
強か
beta,
った
what
か
you
ら
guys
見
are
てたか
hoping
ら、
to get when it comes to
ただ
maps
メ
and
ジ
how
ー
you
はなん
think
かあ
it'll
んま
play out.
りうまくいってなく
When
て、
we when we had a conversation about Vito, we knew
本
that
当いい
we're
イ
gonna
ン
pick
タビューだよね。今のメジー
and
が、
we hope
まあ
that
出来上が
they
る
will pick Merash.
ための
And as a
出
first
来上がるようになっ
map,
たその、
it should be
まあ、考
an
え
Abyss
方
or
というか、
Inferno. Like
ね、
it
文
depends
字通り
on
ある
the
決断
Falcons.
爆弾設置して角度を守って というためにみんなが私を見てるように感じるところまで来てしまう、他のやられたプレイヤー、まあだから自分が残ってる時に、まあ、左右がね私を見てる、いやこれ本当になんかねプレッシャーかかる中でも左右がやられて、まあ、当時はまあスピンクスか、まあ今だとまあロペスとかもそうかな、まあ、ロペス左右がやられたらみんながね自分の画面を見てるっていう、ね、自分のしたことは全て間違いだったように感じたみたいな、左右ならこの状況でどうするだろう、自分はどうするべきだろうと考えながらみたいな、ね、素晴らしいですよね。自分はこのチームにいるべきではない。まあ当時マジスクもね最後の最後なんか優勝かなんかして終わったしね。 やっぱ素晴らしいよな。
It's
まあスピリ
Mirage.
ットの試合
And
見てね、
PARIVISION,
まあ白は
Ancient.
まあいいとして、まあ
Back to
マジッ
Vans
クス、
now.
まあティニアゾンティックスか、
Falcons.
ティニアゾンティックスがドンクがやっててやられて、
And PARIVISION
で
back.
ドンクが画面を自分の見てる状況でね、
Inferno. If
まあど
this
んぐらい
does go the distance, the
そう
deciding
いうと
map
ころを意
will
識して
be
ねやれるかっていう、そういう
Anubis. All right, so guys,
のがね大切な
will
の
this
かな
go
って
the
いう、そういう
distance?
気持ちがあ
Of
ったら多
course,
分
we've only seen a
また
2-0 so
もう一
far.
回
I
ね
think that
1
we
位
all
とか
can
に
agree that we want to see
なっ
a
てったり
3-map
する
series
のかななんて
here.
ね
So let's get
思うな。
stuck into our second quarterfinal.
まあそんなこんなでね、
Whilst
こんな深
Ian
夜
and
に
the crowd are hoping
始
for
まり
map 3, I mean, so are we, right? We
試合
love to
始
see
ま
a series go
る
the
前の
distance. That also
た
means
だの
that it's probably a
自
tough
分の
one to really
雑談
predict,
ではあるん
really
だけ
know
ど、
where it's going. But if we were to head on over to
まあ
Nova Shot, something you love
ね
doing there, Dupree, and used our points, would you
いい
still
でし
go
ょう。
with Parry?
こんな感じ
We
で
gotta look at the stocks. That's one thing, right? But if I had to go like just with my feeling, you know, the vibe, everything, I'm gonna have to go with PARIVISION. I cannot back out now.
Okay.
I know
You're all
we
in it.
only have 97 blast coins to go at, but I think
Okay.
it's doable, right? So let's just do it. We're gonna all in. I don't even care about your opinion of this.
まあいい
I'm
か
just gonna go right at
結
it.
局
It's gone.
なん
Goodbye.
か
I'm sorry. That's not. We're not keeping those.
No, that's for
こ
sure.
れも
But
俺
you don't
の
think it's gonna be?
ね
I'm
プライ
taking
ド
Falcons
な
in
の
this
か
series. I
どう
think
なの
this is
かわかんないんだけど、
Falcons are they just look like they're getting a lot better.
Pride
They're
がある
really just not throwing rounds
イ
as
コール
much. That's the big takeaway
負け
for
ず
me
嫌いでも
in the group stage thus
ある
far.
But
と
when we
も言え
look
るの
at
か
the
ななん
head-to-head,
て
when
思
we
ったり
look
する
at
と
those stats, is that the similar
ね
story that you're reading through it, Mally, or are there some things
プ
that
ライド
stick
があ
out
るイ
to
コ
you
ー
that
ル
do have cause of
まあ
concern?
その人
Well,
を
I
構
went
成して
I went to
る
B
まあ
Trams
個性
regarding
の
Falcons
まあ
and
エ
how
ッ
they
セン
played
ス
at
に
this
も
group
な
stage,
ってんのかななん
and
て
he
ね
has a
そん
stat
な
that
風
he's
に思ったり
concocted
する
that's
と
more or less just rounds
プライド
thrown,
も
where you have an
全部ね
80% chance or
ステ
higher
ムも
of winning the
また
round
違
in
うんだろうし
situations. And Falcons used to be a team that would throw one of those per 22 rounds.
まあ今
Now
の自
at
分に
this tournament, it's only once per 80
必要な
rounds.
と
So
ころ
they
は
have really shored up
ちゃん
a
と
lot of
そ
those
のプライ
mistakes.
ドもね
What that
残
means
し
in the
つつ
server is that instead of seeing
まあ
one
いらないところ
disastrous
は
throw per
ま
map,
あ捨てて
it's
いくという
maybe once
まあ断
per
捨離みたいな
series. That sort
なん
of
か
discipline is something that
まあそん
PARIVISION
な
had
ね
in the previous matchups. But now that Falcons is winning their
くだら
5v4s
ない
more
話
regularly,
ではあ
they're
ります
winning
け
the
ど
man advantage, they're not losing ridiculous post plants. I doubt that we're going to see one of those famous screenshots at the end of this series, and that's why I'm taking
Yeah.
Falcons in this series.
I surely hope
先
we
に
will
酔っ
not
払って
see
る
one.
と
Well, maybe I do because I do want PARIVISION to win. So in that regard, that could play in my favor, right? But Falcons, they had cleaned up, right? I think it's also some of the things that Sonic has really been trying to work on. One thing is the playing the advantage. They want to play with more like they want to play more compact style. They want to make sure that they hit the bomb sites
その
together
内容をどうこう
instead
は
of
ともか
allowing
く
the individuals because
気づく
the
と
individuals has been
長
the
々
talking point for
喋っ
this
ちゃい
team
ま
for
す
a
ね
long time. That they feel out the rounds, they play default, then they want to try and like sniff out
昔
where the
の
advantage is. I
会
think
社
it
の
looks
先
good that
輩にね
Falcons have now cleaned up that part because that has been one of the biggest
なんか
critique
深夜
points for
に
them. So that is
その
moving in
人
the
の
right
家に飲
direction,
み
and
に行って
that could be a way of Sonic,
15回
stepping in, saying, guys,
15回ぐらいね
enough
同
is
じ
enough.
話
We're gonna try and
され
move in
た
that
ことが
direction
ある
that
け
I've
ど
been trying to go for a while, and in the multiple times that we've seen vlogs or whatever has been happening for the team, they have been talking that they don't put the team in front of them, like they don't put the team in front as much as the individuals, and I think that is the right approach to them
20
because
後半でその人
with the
20個上ぐらい
individuals
だっ
they
たか
have,
ら
they should be able to puzzle things together and create rounds and win off the advantage that they constantly produce for themselves.
まあそうい
That's
う
the
おっ
thing
さん
that,
に
again, time will only tell, right? If that
なるんだ
payoff
っ
will
たら
happen,
それ
if
でいい
that
し
return of interest is going to work out in their favor. But something else
自
that
分が
time will only tell is if
やりたいような
Nico's choice words earlier before their PARIVISION
ますか
series is going to
という
come
こと
back
で
to bite him in the bum, right? This is something that a lot
残
of
り
people have been talking about, that he said,
5
we've
分ぐらい
made them
か
look better than they are. I expect us to win versus them. It feels like he's doubling down on
まあ
this.
ぼち
Not
ぼち
only are we
見
going
て
to
いきま
win
しょう
this,
かね
but we're going to expose them as frauds. We're going to expose them as not that tier 1 team people seem so highly thought of.
I'm fine with this in the regard that he puts the team up there as we are better than what we've shown. He wants to showcase and what we've shown. He wants to showcase and put emphasis in that this team is better, like we are better than PARIVISION. However, it is going to build more pressure on them, and I don't think pressure has ever been the good friend of Falcons because pressure has been for as long as I can remember, even my time back then, pressure was always that thing that made us lose the game, and I think that's also been the case for this Super team.
こんな
I would love to see just if
自分
honestly
の
Sonic
ね
has a
話したい
counter
ことを
plan
話し
for the
て
way that PARIVISION plays. I mean,
一旦
PARIVISION have that
Falcons
heavy gamble
パリ見て
style. If you're the go coach, find a way to be able to tackle that problem.
あと
Find a way to
3
be
分ぐ
able
ら
to
いかな
scout it.
マップ版も
Well, we
まだやって
want
ない
to
から
look
ね
to see exactly if we can scout our players, as I do think they're waiting and ready to get this quarterfinals started for themselves. Falcons and PARIVISION.
CS is about
オ
making
ープニング
decisions
ムービー
and
が
shooting heads.
始まってからって感じですか
I've been playing it for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what I would do without it. We have JM who is calling some insane things.
Game awareness is my strength right now.
We always add some new things, so our opponents don't know what we do.
We better come out with a good team play, otherwise we're gonna punish you.
Monacy connects with another ball. God damn, that was good. Trying to move it forward, but Belchernot's got other ideas.
The opponents that playing against us should be scared of our insane aim.
That's way. Oh, it's one more headshot.
We are really trying to fight to make the haters kind of regret what they are doing.
Oh, such a god. It's perfection.
Our team is one of the best in the world.
Great leadership, individual ability. This is the real deal. Welcome to the stage, Falcons. Texas.
よしさあ見ていきましょうか。ファルコンズパリのオープニングからですね。ただ本当に今年はねパリすごいよね。1月のブラストも本当優勝してきて、そこからも普通に結果残してるからね。ここまでもやっぱ上がってくるところはちゃんと上がってくるし、試合見ててもね普通にうまくやってたり強かったりするわけだから、パリは本当にいいチームですね。
They refuse to wait any longer. This is their time. Please welcome PARIVISION. Yellow.
まあ前回大会では今年は2回の対戦があって1月のブラストと、2月の PGL、どっちもパリが勝ってる。 BO5 を3本選手で決勝でファルコンで倒してるし、2月の PGL は BO3 で2勝1敗2-1でファルコンで倒してるってことで、このねオッズ的にはファルコンズが 1.5 で、パリが 2.5 ぐらい、ファルコンズ優勢とは見られてるけど、なんかこのオッズ以上にね離れてないんじゃないかなっていうのはなんか思いますよね。1.7、1.9 ぐらい、ファルコンズ 1.7 パリ 1.9 ぐらいな感じはあるけど、オッズでは開いてると。
In the red carpet interview, we heard Belchernot talking about how he thought the cheers were going to be loudest for Falcons, that maybe they weren't really going to be fan favorites, but I gotta say there was a lot of noise for a lot of PARIVISION players.
The people love James. I can tell you that for certain. They love his style, they love his aura, everything he brings to the table. Such a unique style, such a unique player. Every time he gives an interview, it feels like it's just pure wisdom raining down from the heavens.
There's no doubt that James has won a lot of love just by his play style, but also, the way that he's actually managed to claw his way back into the Tier 1 scene. There's no doubt that after his time of VP, a lot of people were probably thinking he wouldn't be making it back, but now look what he has done. Bringing up youth like youngsters, bringing them from the face level and from the streets in his own words, and then showing them how to play Counter-Strike in his way, and then making it to play on the stage when you're going up against a team like the Superstars of Falcons. Man, this is a little bit of a dream coming true.
And something you guys said that really is sticking with me right now is playing in front of a crowd. How are you able to manage your emotions? Are you going to succumb to the adrenaline? Are you going to succumb to that pressure? PARIVISION, whilst it is a bit of a joke about how slow they play, that might lean into their favor. You're able to edge out your opponent because you're still able to withstand that time and that patience.
And every time you're playing in the boot camp with Dastan behind you, it's full pressure, okay? That might even be more pressure than playing in front of an audience when Dastan's the one that's going to reprimand you if you make a single mistake, if you step out of line. And that's what's been so impressive about PARIVISION, the way that they just exude discipline. That if someone is supposed to take first contact, nobody's swinging until that guy gets first contact.
Without a doubt, this is untested territory for the majority of the players looking on the PARIVISION side. If this would have been the first time they would have taken the stage, I would have been worried because, you know, when you're young and you come onto stage, it can be a little bit overwhelming. Also, when you go up against the superstars of Falcons. But I do still believe that the playstyle might come in handy for them. I think the slow, etching playstyle, waiting it out and playing off each other is going to help them. And it's also going to stress out the Falcons. And I hope, and I think it's going to be an interesting playstyle to see if they can make it into late.
I do have to point out and acknowledge something whilst we're watching them, both the teams sitting at their booths. The small difference, Falcons doing their team huddle, really trying to up the energy. The PARIVISION, straight down, looking at the papers, working on all of that prep that they have brought into this series.
You all have different ways of approaching a match, and I think that for the Sonic side has always been important to feel that everyone's on the same page, specifically when it comes to energy, and that's why he decided to go for this one. Whereas maybe PARIVISION, they've already had their talks. They know that now its business is going to come down to the server. They know that they are now in a position where they can change the outcome of the match. So I feel like they feel confident, right? They're looking as if they're ready for this matchup. And I'm just excited to see if they can bring this stuff that they showed in the first week of Copenhagen.
When you have three superstars, you want them to pop off. You want them to have larger-than-life moments where they take the game into their own hands. But when you're a team like PARIVISION, you just want 5 Navy SEALs executing flawlessly. You want to get in, you want to get out, and you don't want anybody to even make a single peep. So this is the PARIVISION team that is stoic, but they're serious.
I can see it on their face, right? And I want to circle back the energy not only that the players might need for themselves, but the energy coming out from the crowd as well. We heard Munisi get a lot of cheers, James got a lot of cheers. If you guys had to pick, which one, though, do you think has more fans right now? Who's pulling the crowd?
Right now, it feels like James has at least won the most people heart in here. I think they also like a good underdog history and a good win. I think that's also what speaks to my heart. You know, it's always fun to see the underdog coming in, taking the stage, and I guess let's also just be honest. I think that people also just want to see Falcons having a little bit of a rough time.
I feel like they're going to let their play do the talking. We're going to get a James moment. We're going to get James time. We're also probably going to get Monasi highlights out the wazoo. He always finds a way to light up arenas, and that's what he's trying to recapture. Even though in 2024, he was the world's best arena player, some of that form, some of the way that he plays under the spotlight has dropped off a little bit. There are players that are eclipsing him now. He's losing his spot in the pecking order of the elite players, and so he needs to fight back. A win here in the Ahoy Arena would be a huge statement to say he is indeed back.
Well, the win is what they need, but who on each team would be looking towards to be able to convert that for themselves? You said Munisi, star player, maybe dropping off a bit, but is he still the number one when it comes to the mind of Falcons and clutching up, pulling through, getting through those tough rounds?
Even though he definitely is, I'm going to say that they want a little bit more from Kyosuke. He had a rough start to this event. He got immediately put into a group stage land game off of a plane. He literally was on the Uber coming over here, and then he had to just sit down and play. Of course he wasn't going to play his very best Counter-Strike in that very moment, but now I'd say he's locked and loaded, he's ready, he's looked a lot sharper, and I feel like Falcons, it's time to see what this guy can do in a playoff stage.
Well, he's not the only one that's ready. Both of our teams in their booths. The crowd is sitting on the edge of their seats. We want to get our next quarterfinal started. We're going to see PARIVISION up against Falcons.
A little bad blood does us good in the server tonight. PARIVISION looking stoic as always because they know they can win this head-to-head. And a Team Falcons that's looking to rise back to where we all want them, which is the very top. Rotterdam, we've got violence on our hands tonight in this head-to-head. And Team Falcons, off of what Nico's interview had to say, are gunning for the upset. They want it back in their hands.
No, I love that we get the words before the match starts. This push to A ramp, it's pretty potent. They'll go ahead and win it really quickly. Nico will get shoved back, but there is no action on the other side. Slow start here for Falcons, looking to play reactive.
8 of the last 10 games PARIVISION have played on this map, they have lost. They are currently sitting on a 3-map loss streak within Mirage as well. And even with those damning numbers, I think back to their game versus Vitality, and I still believe they had a genuine chance. It gets down to the nitty-gritty when it comes to PARIVISION. That's usually where they thrive, but we've also seen them kind of lose their control of those moments versus the very best. Are Falcons of that caliber tonight? Time to tell. Fast jump out through the Monacy headshot apiece. Really nothing to stand on there for PARIVISION. James takes a look through the doorway, and I love that Falcons have just gone ahead and locked themselves into high cover positions. It's going to force the CTs out into the open if they want anything at this B site. What a perfect start for Falcons. 2 headshots and a pistol round that comes with it.
We had the interview before the game started with Nico, and he said, if they make mistakes, we will punish them. That's an example of it. It's why he gets a few bullets out, and then he gets killed. 2 players dead on the B side, 3v5 retake, no matter what kind of guns you got, is almost never going to happen. So a really good round here for Falcons. And as you pointed out, that game versus Vitality, it had to do with pistols. That could definitely be a factor for both of these rosters in this matchup, in this head-to-head. Now, some of the stats are relevant, some of the stats are group stage matches, and we know that the thing about PARIVISION is they're the ultimate skill check when you get to quarters and you get to semifinals. And they've shown this year they're the strongest that they've been so far, and Falcons have a ton to prove. No matter the route that they got here, how quickly and easily it was, they know that that doesn't matter in the minds of the fans watching. They know they have to prove themselves on stage every time they get to playoffs.
When it comes to the stage and it comes to PARIVISION, I think one of their strengths right now is this onboarding process between the sizes of the stages, from Bounty to Cluj to now here in the Ahoy. We're getting bigger and bigger. And this is as they try to climb up. This is a team we're talking about has secured stage 3 at the next major.
I mean, this shouldn't matter at all, but just look at the rotations already. We saw how good the reads were from PARIVISION when they played against Vitality. One key to counter that is to move even more quickly. That's what Falcons do right here.
Sweet, smooth, and simple.
But you can already see the prep. You can already see that they got one clue. Saw nobody in a default. Instantly knew that it was going to be a B play and tried to make it over.
Not a fan of the saves, I take it. Problem is, Falcons just move so fast. I don't think, that's one of the things with PARIVISION. We've talked about their evolution and James' ability to play faster CS, but we're still we're walking into this game 2 rounds in. This is an electric tempo set by Falcons towards this B site. If you're going to go for these gamble stacks, and I mean so many rounds of Counter-Strike, I'm going to reference back that game versus Vitality. We're sat there watching. It's classic James. You're asking yourself, how does he know where to put the pieces at the perfect moment? How does he do it time and time again? Now versus Falcons tonight, that's going to be a test, and one that clearly in round 2 might be faster than he realizes out the gate.
I'm a fan of the pace. I think if, one simple thing is if you play faster, you got less time to be nervous. Even if that game plan might be too simplistic, if a team is good versus brawly rosters, they can slow you down and shut you down. Falcons have the firepower to make explosive rounds happen, and if they start to get into default, get a little slow, get in their own heads, I feel like that's where some of the doubt has room to brood.
So first gun still for the defense. Obviously, we know one death, not even across the entirety of Falcons. So still looking to make money off the MAC-10s. Still playing with some freedom. Freedom earned off the pace of the last round, but it's going to be Kixan with the bomb carrier nearby, just kind of getting into cover and finding zero resistance still so far.
We got a team right now. We got PARIVISION, have no kids coming into this. They have good enough weapons. I mean, we're talking about 2 MAC-10s on the other side. But they know that. They rotated as fast as they could last round. They couldn't make it. They can't get into a retake situation on this one.
Tough round for Yellow now as that nade finds him down to 60 health. James opts not to hang on to the ticket booth, but instead pushes a little further.
Palace smoke's pretty huge. They're up in connector. TSS, is he going to try to get in front of this?
Headshot on Kyosuke, down to 19 health. Yellow ready, finds a back turn to him. That's the cleanup. Here's that move from TSS, and he's going to go right back into the cover. But they find out about Belchinok. Cielo currently crossing paths with Nico. Things are going to get awkward towards the jungle. Well, Monacy looks over top of the staircase. They can't figure out where the hell PARIVISION have gone off to, but it's because they are within you, still sitting inside of this smoke. Cielo's patience pays. Beltranot catches his, and Sway finds a headshot as well. So it is rifles to make a world of difference here for PARIVISION.
You saw that Testes understood his responsibility in that situation to make a palace lurk happen, but the problem was it was a double ramp setup. They were ready for A regardless. They still had James on default ready for connector, and they come out early versus the jungle smoke. So a couple of mistakes here from the Falcons, paired with PARIVISION just not freaking out and having a good stack on the A site is all they need to win.
Gonna need nerves of steel and an ability to adapt. I think those are going to be some win conditions for PARIVISION if Falcons really have that level of preparation that it felt like they had in the first 2 rounds of play.
We see so many of their maps go to 13-11 score lines overtimes. You know, that's why we get that comment from Nico, that we made them look good and we could have beaten them. That's always true. But that's true versus a lot of matchups for Falcons as well. Still, they must have seen something that they realized they failed to exploit.
今度はコネクター2人にビショットでパリ側は
I think of all the runs that PARIVISIon have had so far, the Prep might be the most impressive at this event.
Sure.
Even thinking about their vitality game.
面白いねこのアンパス2人
I mean, just mistakes.
Not what you want to see 4 rounds into the game.
1人打ち合って1人
Not when PARIVISIon were able to win that last round as cleanly as they did. But it's also an invitation here for that CT to get closer to the windowsill.
Oh, if they punish it.
Noto looks to time this as they crawl down from top middle. He's going to take a glimpse out, deal half damage to Kyosuke, who's yet again facing a difficult round, right? We saw him tag down to 20, backstabbed in the last round. Well, here as well, his hands somewhat tied up by that low HP. We hit 35 seconds and Monacy finds the Beltranot headshot. It's Nota into jungle this time, wins the first duel. No trade, but that's the bomb drop, the second from him. There's a bit of disjointedness, and yet still Kyosuke comes up with it. But remember, that's the player who had the low health from the get-go. Default held onto here by James. Quietly in between. And so as he strikes down Monacy, it's the Kyosuke clutch needed, and a really wide move secures PARIVISION second.
Total mess for Falcons.
It looked like a round where they didn't have any money. They don't have a jungle smoke, they're trying to come up connector, they run right into the trap laid by PARIVISIon, they didn't even have to work for that. They didn't even re-smoke windows, so where's their extra smoke? And they have 5 players in mid, there's no lurker on this round. Ultimately, they set up like this was a very late round Antigua where there was so much resistance and they had to use extra utility, but none of that was the case.
パリの連携というかタイミングの合わせ方が上手でしたねダブルピーク
Connector's a narrow
い
corridor.
や
You're
野
not
良で
going to
ね
be
自
able
分
to
でデ
fit
フォル
and
ト
make
側
use
だ
of
と
that many
どうしても
players.
ショートピークとかになっちゃってやられて味
To
方
take
が
the
まだ
A
トリプ
site
ルの裏ぐら
by
いみ
one
たいなっ
choke point and open yourself up to crossfires.
ていうのがなんかありそうだなと思うだけにこういうとこは本当に上手ですよね
Out the window goes the money that the Falcons were playing with.
言語化しない
They'll take their time with this one.
お互いのポジションを見ての気遣いというか
That was weird, man. But we saw at this event a couple of buys that was like, you know, the 4-player save into not having a lot of utility and everyone just going for AKs. That looked like that same round, but an unforced position. It was rounds where they still had money left over, the option to avoid it.
ラウンドですねディーグル京介
I thought they banned face it.
取れたらでかいけどね
Gotta get your hit somehow.
さあ映画はうまく
Hear
上
the
が
Desert
れ
Eagles
は
ring
し
out.
た
We
けど
hear and see the Falcons getting closer to this A site too.
いやいい
But it's all just
ダ
giving
ブルトリ
James
プルピ
something to
ーク
shoot at.
だけ
No
ど
toe
う
leans
ま
back,
くははまら
has
ず
a bomb delivered to
1キル
him. Yeah, no challenge whatsoever. Yellow's death, a so be it situation here for PARIVISIon. CT side takes a lead 5 rounds into this game.
We know what the deal is, man. They have the players, they have now the experience with Falcons. We're seeing them play better and incrementally improve, but it doesn't mean PARIVISIon are just going to be walkovers. They need to show the mental beyond everything else. Perfect time to get a timeout in. This one could be tactical, might not be. I think it's got to be a break to reset yourself because what we've seen so far, a good start, but already it looks a little bit shaky. Not a great sign for a map they're looking forward to.
It's also a scary start to what has been a general trend in the right direction. Maui Snake bringing up the numbers that those, kind of inexcusable lost rounds have been happening less frequently in the run-up to this playoffs. And you alluded to a couple of still small mistakes, and even Nico's interview, he said, we're making less of those mistakes. They're still there every once in a while, but there are quantifiably less of them. And we know we can look at the Falcons and check all the boxes as to the things that they do great and all the reasons they can win. But the glaringly obvious problem are those awkward moments.
Oh, that's beautiful.
When you get jumbled up at the bottom of ramp like that.
It's perfect with the flash, the op on the line, and the M4 had time to miss bullets because the tactic was perfect. Nico would love a punish right here.
This boost over the connector smoke. It's the kind of thing that could catch somebody off guard. But PARIVISION doing a great job of just kind of minimizing
There just won't be
the
any
risk.
freebies. Yeah, there won't be any freebies anymore. The action is stopped. There's a pause in it. Everyone's going to reset, but it's the 3 Ts that need to find a way to create an advantage.
時のステア含めた A メインダブルでトリプルピークみたいな形でなんか上手にカウンターピークしてきたりしてましたから。
They're still actively jump spotting in the B apartment, so Monacy's in jeopardy. They have a ladder room player, which is perfect to stop a cat split. Falcons have to fight their way out of this.
見どころになりそうですね。ただもう何回も
they first got to find somebody willing to fight. Eventually, that's yellow.
And look at James; he's already in the market. They're leaning B. It's the correct move for the bomb they can't even see.
Nico's just again hoping that somebody oversteps, but this is PARIVISION really not giving you anything to work.
So this is a loss off the tac pause instantly. A great tactic from PARIVISION to take the wind out of their sails right away. It was meant to be a connector split with ramp. I like the idea. I like the idea of them trying to go faster, but are they going to be able to punish PARIVISION is the question. Are they going to be the ones who get punished? Like they said they would do that. But I don't think PARIVISION read that and go, yeah, we're worried about it. As Ray said, they're ready to play them on any map. They've already proved that.
It's as simple as a flash.
しかもそのカバーがね、アウトレイ入ってるっていうのもまた。
They have someone playing anti, it's perfectly covered.
Yep. Great coverage by James. There are layers to that idea. You can see Kyosuke trying to be the hero dead first. PARIVISION double the rounds of Falcons now, 4-2.
まあアウプはちょっと難しいね。
Back into the round with 2 AK-47s on the Falcons side, one for Monacy, one for Nico. Trying to force the issue here despite pistols on the others.
This fight is crazy. They got a full investment and 3 deagles out of it. I mean, at least they're favoring utility, but not even majority guns.
まあでもそうか。2人ともお
No
金
one
ない
even
ですからね。
hanging on to cash
こ
to
れ合わ
get
せるし
that
かない
off
の
a
か
little bit early with the extra grenades. So putting a ton into this. James leaning B.
で見せた時のような B の形 AK 戦
James credit for moments like this, but he misses the shot to strike one down. So we've got Boots moving in on B, Sway dropping Nico in the process. Fire at the feet of James, and Monacy's AK's just caught Belchinok. Deagle from bench though lets them down a bit. It's Yellow with the recovery here. Man advantage extended as Yellow hits this clean long-range headshot over towards the bench. And Tesses, the one piece that never really got into that engagement. So he tries to burn them out, but utility goes both ways. PARIVISION comfortable 3 versus 1. No, it's Yellow. That's a big 4K move from him to just rotate up from catwalk. We saw his impact last round, cutting off the mid-crawl, making sure that this B-site can't be taken. Even when they're closer, he's not too far off, always prepared to help.
Yellow's hot right now, and sometimes we see him and it's like he's going to be getting a lot of first kills. He's going to be very aggressive looking for sequences. He likes to have his name multiple times in the kill feed, but some days that gun isn't there. Right now it is. That's another problem for Falcons. And again, it was a big investment. And they'll half buy down on this one. Looking for another set strategy. Immediately, the mid control is getting disrespected. I think they've already mollied top boxes, so.
序盤はパリが 結構うまく返してますね。
Being given the space for the execute at least.
Look how agile they are. They're so ready to rotate already.
Molotov popped in the air as well. Didn't actually land there on triple block. So yet again a piece of utility for the Falcons that's just not on the mark. We get this peek from Belchenok now playing the position. As he switches over to the USP, he's already done his job. Sets up PARIVISION for the 4v3 retake. But it's Kyosuke with hands on an M4 now, and that can definitely cause problems. Half of the retake has now been cut down. Damage off of the Tech 9. And so if it's not this clutch from Nota, it is indeed the Falcons having broken through with what started as just pistols.
Available utility is really important right here.
この2段も無理でしょ多分。この2段無理じゃない。だって京介って。
They'll throw a flashbang, but just take a peek as the jump over top verifies no defuse inbound. He's going to try to close this distance. Player back and high, Kyosuke. That's what you needed. 4 kills once he takes over the space.
That's with the upgraded gun off of Belchenok, who got his first 2 kills. So initially a 3v5 position won by Kyosuke. And this is a half buy, so
there's that Molotov that pops early.
His util.
But it also ends up putting Belchenok in the position to grab the gun, huh?
Yeah, he still did a good job, though, as the anchor. He got his 2 kills, so it did open up a spot that actually countered the play that was coming in. You look at that same round with the molly, maybe a plant, have the 2 extra guys alive. I think you take that trade most of the time. So this is a bit of a gift here for Falcons. And the rounds you would expect to see once in a while from their players. They can give you those.
100%. And I think the sorts of rounds that a guy like Kyosuke specifically is looking to offer Falcons on the stage in particular.
And you see those 2 peaks. Absolutely no chance at all. Instant to the head with the M4.
So Falcons pique our interest with that round. They're 3rd on the scoreboard.
This really saves their money. Monacy's now got his op, all his util, and a ton of cash left over.
そういう感じじゃなくて、このチームとして強いみたいなね。モンゴルズとかナビみたいな。
There's a potential break back into this half.
感じのなんかチームっ
All
ぽい
off
感じがします
A-Tech 9.
レーティングでいうと誰が一番高いんだろうね、このチームは。
The Falcons will not be proud of a half they put together off of just rounds like that. They need these rifles.
まずミッドアクション。ちょっと A メイン側。
What's scary for PARIVISION as well is we saw some very close rounds go the way of Vitality on Mirage, and then that was that team's way back into the game, right? PARIVISION couldn't quite put the brakes on what ended up being the runaway train.
Already getting nervous about a bit of a gap here. The only smoke lands right in front of 2 players. It's as if PARIVISION are setting up to stop that connector split once again. Kickstand was looking to make this complicated. It'll be Kyosuke on alert.
パレスに移動と。モネジ以外、京介はラークで
A lot of bodies being prepared for this middle fight though on the PARIVISION side.
This one can come down to Kyosuke again because they're going to put a lot of resources here to try to find anybody lurking. As Yellow's setting himself actually up to flank the A ramp.
Kyosuke taking his sweet time with this one as PARIVISION are smoked off.
Yellow's running it, so they actually have to move with a bit of haste now.
Sway's also trying to make the sprint over this hit time towards Ticket. James gets first blood in round 9. They're going to prioritize the ball, and that's a clean one on Nico.
Right out of the sky.
And that keeps Nico on 0 frags this map. Kyosuke finally starts to activate, but Yellow does the same on his terms. Commits to the motown, and PARIVISION into the perfectly wrapped bomb site execute. They let Falcons make their moves, but they are ready on all fronts.
And sometimes you look at James to see if they have a read on the map, but this round, he's not necessarily overstacking the A site. Instead, because they kept mid-control, they had Yellow in a position where he could have flanked A or B, no matter what.
He pops it over himself.
So good.
Let's check out these op shots. The Tessa's one, but then catching the jumping Nico.
Oh, he's aiming Palace, and Nico jumps right into his crosshair.
Let's talk about it, Mo. Nico's dead again. 0 and 6 start here on Mirage.
Dupree on the desk brought up that, you know, it's really cool to have the comments showing how confident they are, but it also can make them vulnerable, adds a little bit of pressure, and as he pointed out, that's the #1 problem for the Falcons. Still, I like the self-belief, but then you see a scoreline like that. Nico's the one to say that in the first place. Yeah, the rubber's not meeting the road just yet.
ムーブができそうなだっただけに
You think you made PARIVISION look good the first time they beat you. Think about how good they'll look when they do it again.
裏詰めしてたのも非常にパリ側としては素晴らしかったですね。
It's not a guarantee, but it's the 6-3 CT lead on Falcons map pick of Mirage.
なんかジェームなんかそんなに
Luckily for the Falcons, because they were able to win that round 2 rounds ago off the Tech 9, we get a full buy yet once more, but it is everything they've got invested. We said that could have been their breakthrough moment back into the half. It'll be totally denied if PARIVISION win this one.
There is an opening here towards the end of Palace. And Amonisi's not seeing anything smoke, so
ぐらいが
doesn't
一
take a
番レー
peek.
ティング高そうな感じはありますけど
Yeah,
ね。
he gets on the line first. Oh, but now he'll get spotted. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, wow, but
takes
still.
a shot.
レーティングとしてはなんか高くな
That
さ
can
そ
slow
うではあり
things
ますけど。
down. I mean, it would have been great, obviously, to snag a kill that way. But now having to move back around. Unfortunately for Kixen, like, we're seeing a few different ideas each round, but every single time PARIVISION, they seem to know what's coming. It doesn't feel like they're tricking them.
リックさんも合わせてミッド残り1分。さあトップコンソモク耐えていいね。
James goes hunting.
さあブレイクのタイミングも
Don't think so, not this time.
ファルコンズ側が噛み合ってますね。
Bomb joins up over towards the ramp now. Well timed peek off Yellow. For somebody who's
Yeah,
been inside of the ladder room as often as he has been.
Also, yeah, exactly. And Cat's not mollied at all.
Good recovery from Kixen, spotting 2 more targets as well. That's going to certainly draw the Falcons' attention if they want a pick-back frag, but it's denied. Sway's got the headshot and the trade right there onto Tesses. Nico yet to get active here in this round, nor the entire half, and it's going to stay that way. 0 and 7 off of James' denial this round.
Talk to me about some of the basic utility that we're missing out of Falcons. When they've come up connector, they've always died to someone in jungle, whether it was from the smoke or with no smoke at all. This round, they're trying to sneak into an A split with a connector play. They've done that maybe 4 times this half. There's no molly to stop a cap push. As you pointed out, Zello's always in the ladder room. They're not watching this at all. Why don't they have someone on cat ready to swing to get that trade if they're going to put someone in jeopardy in connector when they're trying to sneak in? They're not covering their bases. Tastan looks like he wants even more. 7-3 though. This is kind of a shutout on all of the big rounds here for PARIVISION. 0 rifle rounds, 1 for the Falcons.
Yellow maintaining as well that plus 100 ADR coming into round 11 of this half. And a lights out CT side for him. And one where I feel like you start to see that confidence come out when he goes for that kind of a connector peek. There have been moments where you've kind of kept him on a shorter leash, made him tuck in behind the cover all the entire round. It's not the case anymore because PARIVISION feel like they can just stamp out any hopes of Falcons getting anything else on this T side. So back to the upgraded pistols, single AK for Nico. The guy with 0 frags for Falcons is the guy with the only gun they'll have this round.
チャンスありそうな
Spotted
感じ
body.
しますけどね。
Yellow on high alert as he
あ、で
comes
も入って
back,
た。
eats the
フラッ
flash
シュめ
somewhat,
ちゃ
but
くちゃ
it's
い
a
い
piece
け
of
ど、
that as
ま
well.
たジェーム。
Down they go. 3 frags found. Chain collects 2 off of the off. Monacy never even allowed to exit. And so if you were hoping you could tap back into the way this first half started, then let's see Monacy do it on his own.
He has the time to do it. He has a little bit of space as well, but he won't pick up the bomb on the way down.
Smoke helps temporarily. They just sulk into their corners. Then they try to swing him, and everybody was ready as he stands on top of that van to try to trade out. It is nobody beyond Belchanok needed. 8th round for PARIVISION CT side.
That's another half by lost. Another round lost for the Falcons, and 10 ADR for Nico. That's got to be one of his worst starts. I mean, numerically can't get much worse than that.
I can only think of 9 other numbers.
うわ、こういうキルも入ってたんですね。この年齢とかね、キャリアとか全然考えずに、この試合だけのなんかスタッツだけで見たら、まあ勝負させて AK で。
So you're telling me
one more round.
If Nico goes 0 and 9 right here, worst start to any map of Counter-Strike 2 the legendary Kovac has ever played.
Always nice to break a record.
Nades that could have had his name on it had he continued in that underpass push, but Nico doubles back to hold the flank.
ただ流れができると。
Kyosuke's at least been able to find a good amount of real estate. We talked about Zielo's consistency in being in this ladder room.
This is already the best position they found in a mid default. They win ladder room, they have mid control, they have 2 lurkers now, they have the options to go A and B in this position. Now the rest is on Kicksan to make the executive call. How do they want to use Tess if this leads B?
ちょっと欲しいですね。ただゼウィンもアウプでダブルアウプになってるね。
There's no denying Falcons have figured out the right avenue of attack, but with Nota towards the murder hole, there's a faster rotation. Yellow's actually peeling back through market in this moment.
They're going to walk into this, so Zwei might have to flick if he comes back to peek this.
As he goes in, he will flip Kicksan if he's not ready for the others, though. But it's still not the immediate all-in from Falcons. Tess starts to activate on A, and he sees nothing.
Doesn't see that.
He just crosses James' skull, walks right back into it. And so 3v5, a nade for Nico, his worst start to any map of CS2. And if they don't even get a single kill in this moment, then what happened to the T-side that we expected? Falcons start this 2-0, and Sway can't believe how easy things end up.
難しい。キックさんやられて、4対5で、もしキックさんが定説の画面見てたら、全員にワンチャン気づけたかもなっていうシーンでしたね。視点振った時に多分全員の体の4分の1ぐらいかな。なんか見えてたっぽい気がするから。ああいうのはね、誰かが画面見ててくれれば見つかるんだけどね。
All the teams under are starting to invest heavily, looking at their qualities and what they have that their team don't have.
Some other top teams, including us, haven't had the best start of the year so far. If this keeps happening, then they have a really good chance of winning even more. Last season was the peak, and I think it's pretty hard to replicate what they've done there.
You cannot be playing like this for a long time. Even if they play like a bit worse individually, they're still capable of winning tournaments.
I think it's going to be a bloodbath after the major for the transfer season if Vitality keeps on doing the same. If they win the major and they win the Grand Slam, nobody can sit back and say no chance. And if they don't believe in the lineup, they're going to change a lot.
They're gonna go down in history as the best of all time with the Prime Astralis roster, and you could argue already if Vitality is the better team.
I played in Astralis as well. They were great. They were not unbeatable, but they were very strong. They went to the right tournaments. They knew how to peak at the right time. They won 4 majors, but what Vitality is doing is winning a lot of trophies. Going to every semi-final. They're saying yes to a lot of tournaments as well. Means they're constantly under pressure.
Obviously, Astralis won more majors in the past, but for me, it's not only the majors. Vitality won Cologne, they won Katowice and Krakow, so they won a lot of important tournaments, including Grand Slam.
When you look 2018, the game is so different. Was Astralis great? Yeah. They were ahead of the game, but isn't Vitality doing the same, just a different way?
They had a smaller break now, so I'm not sure what's it gonna do to their performance after this season. You can have the big picture and understand even more, so I just think that the CS fans just need to wait and see what happens. I think if Vitality drops off a little bit, then there would be probably few top teams that would win some tournaments here and there.
Falcons, Spirit, and Furia for sure.
I don't think there will be another team that will suddenly start winning all the tournaments because of all the good teams, a lot of good players, and the game changed a lot. I would say that they're the best CS team of all time.
They have one of the greatest role players in each role to understand what's more important, the team. That's why I think Vitality is going to be greater than Astralis.
ラウンドイーブン近くまでまだなんか戻してもらいたいですね。
What Falcons probably thought was a hot start to the half was absolutely put on ice. PARIVISION with a rock solid 9 rounds back on the defense. 0 and 9, 9 ADR. I mean, he's had better days.
Less than 1 ADR per round.
頑張っていこう。
That doesn't make sense.
まあでも気をつけは
Gotta make that sound as bad as possible, but it already looks pretty rough. So Nico, a pistol though. This is where it could all change. You switch halves. Falcons already impressed us with their initial pop. It felt like they were off to the right start.
B のラッシュ人数かけての攻めはまあいなせると。対するパリは B ショートをまずはラダーからって感じですか。
John Belchinok to have stayed tucked behind cover. Got a lot of PARIVISION presence out middle. CT side still working with Nico's smoke. This is a no-kit retake situation as well for the Falcons if they give up a bomb site. And right now, as far as the numbers go, and that first bullet out of Sway.
And will they see anything? I mean, Nico's got to take some aggro, I think. Monesi can get into the mix.
If he can catch them off by pushing the bomb planter, that'd be great. And he'll do exactly that. But the bomb does still go down a millisecond before Monesi stops the planter. So at least there's a 3v3 here, but as we said, no kit. And James Patience out middle. We'll see if that catches Kyosuke, who's gonna have to start to be a part of this retake. At least Nico had that smoke, but if they go deep enough, yeah, all's good.
Is James gonna clear this? Someone's gonna get on it. He comes and gets that kill.
James with a good mid-kill. Nico fighting on the edge of that smoke. He's got himself his first.
They didn't stick it just yet.
He's looking for another one. Tess 5 seconds for the defuse. Nice to deny it. Sorry, Tess. Slashed down by Belchinok. Double digits instantly by PARIVISION.
Oh, but they put themselves in that spot to, you know, need to get the kills to make that happen. 10-second stick. It's such a tall task, and you gotta love this though. Even when they leave this gap in Palace, there it is. He's on the board.
First one's the hardest.
Even though they let 2 players die, they still. That's right. They still had someone to cover and trade. Sway is 0-2 in group stage this series against Falcons, 3-0 against them in playoffs, and again, playoffs is all that matters.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the best game we ever saw Sway play in a Spirit jersey. Was back at the major versus this team,
and we don't have any doubts about Falcons before playoffs.
But once they get here, their competitors have something to say. CT's down to a smoke on Tessas. The Nico Deagle. He's got the first one, but my God, I can't believe PARIVISION just hit the pause and rewind button going back down that ramp.
It is kind of crazy because sometimes you throw like a first-tier exec, not commit to it, but have enough smokes left over to go at this. They could make this like more of a Palace thing, or just go for some kind of contact if they think Falcons are going to rotate out of this spot, but they can no longer do like a full exec. They've got to really choose wisely with where they want this to land. So, Monesi coming to check if anyone has worked in window. Oh, how did Kickstand get those?
That's what you're looking for. AK grab, scout headshot right with it. Falcons dropped before PARIVISION pounce. And now the bomb alone inside of the apartments is going to be denied. Nico's got a second frag, sits on top of the bomb. The king is in his palace. Noto walks out the ramp, finds himself alone pretty quickly.
Yeah, Nico's really saved the day there. Could have been an awkward spray down. He didn't cover that perfectly. And another Deagle shot to close it out.
Okay.
That's a nice bounce back for the Falcons. Do not leave this man hanging. Those 2 5-7 kills came from nowhere.
やっぱこのゲームで一番強いのはもう5-7ですね。おかしい。パレスの奥のやつ、決勝一発なのかな。
That might require.
I don't want to over-exaggerate now, do you?
It's a great shot and everything.
Versus an AK, by the way.
Yeah, just one-shotted.
いや、距離的に100入んだ。あれなんか99、98ぐらいな、なんかレンジな気がするけど。
2 Galils and an AK-47 saved from the last round, so good little boost to the money here, Falcons. This is the second time as well where they get away with a round like that. Think back to it. Over on the T side, 2-0 start. The only other round they win is that Kyosuke Tech 9 into the M4 upgrade for 4 frags.
Yeah, we're into round 15. Falcons have not won a rifle versus rifle round in the series.
Contrast this time.
They make the comeback. They won't care how they get there, but they're not doing it without those.
At least this time, it also earns you a round up against Glocks. James decides PARIVISION are going to save a bunch of money, so this gives Falcons a chance at the comeback. Still trailing by 6.
入って無理か。プラントプラス1キルとかまで入るとアップ変えんのかな。まあアップ出されないように 行きたいですね。
It's great to see a Falcons that is not losing as many of those lopsided rounds and must-win situations, but it's scary when at the same time you just start to see them fail to win gun rounds. An entire half without a gun round victory back on the attack.
You know, the final score will say everything because they're not winning this game without those. So, and as for PARIVISION, it's the first time we see them second guess themselves on a move, but also it's not like they moved back into position really late and didn't have time to plan or anything. They also had two players in Palace waiting for a push. They just got outdone mechanically by Falcons IGL. Bomb gets spotted at the top of mid.
Oh, hello there.
So こういうところでね、
Monty's gonna keep this one clean. We hit that 30-second mark.
Nice.
Yeah, rack him up, Nico. Oh. Well.
まあまあ1キルならまあって感じ。ダブルピークウィン。いやベンチのダブルピークさすがにブロックじゃ無理でしたね。
Triple kill for him as he continues the top of the leaderboard for the Falcons.
一応
The score that truly counts is 5 rounds to Falcons. PARIVISION sitting pretty on 10.
Yeah, anything can happen on CT. I think PARIVISION are obviously going to be upset.
やっぱキルを取ってやっぱ流れ掴んでいけるといいね。
Also, 4v5 right now.
Hero by AK.
Okay, you were trolling San, I didn't see proper duel.
Little self-deprecation to lighten the mood from Nico. And it gets the team laughing. And I think, you know, too light in the mood is to take pressure off, and that's the kind of thing that they absolutely need.
Yeah, they go from a full Glock save last round to now still just upgraded pistols on PARIVISION.
Yeah, no plant again.
さすがにやめたっていう偉いですね。
I think Falcons have a bit more runway on the CT side. We'll see if they can at least add a price tag to it this time. Ooh, hold on, it gets awkward. Smoke grenade blocks off Kyosuke. Tessa's operating on his own, known to be able to do so. But James spams away with the clock, wants to go grab that upgrade. They would love a bomb plant, and Belchinok's got that responsibility, punching in the digits for the cash. Desert Eagle out. Oh, there's a chance.
Oh, that was close.
But there's two, just two. Plus the plant, that's what they wanted. Bit of negative on the Falcon side, a positive for PARIVISION, but now only a 4-round game.
Yeah, a slight smirk there on Zonic's face for that. Nearly got out of hand, but it was handled. So now we get into the real meat of this game. We've got a CT side full rifle. Monacy's got his op. You will have, you would assume, the op on the other side. James safe for this moment. Just a light 10K worth of equipment value down off those two Deagle shots.
Yep, that's the halfway point. So finally back to the guns. PARIVISION forced to wait by way of Kicksands 5-7 and Monacy's scout headshot. Well, that scout's now an op, and it is perched, ready for that ramp peak.
Go for the full reclear. Don't see anything. But they're right to be suspicious, as we can see.
Damn, Monacy's going to close that gap, huh? Get a little closer.
Yeah, it's not a double ramp setup. It's kind of a passive position to watch Palace. It can be dangerous, but a great shot from Monacy. He's safe.
Well done. Really cooling off Cielo as this game goes on. Earlier, that was a big target with huge impact to the favor of PARIVISION.
Might have been a nice read. They threw the double reclear flash and then left Monacy there. PARIVISION thought for sure they were gone.
PARIVISION able to get out. One's made it to Tetris already. Monacy waiting for the second, but he misses his chance. The striker recovers it. And then that Palace trade was needed by Kicksand. 4v2 secured here for the Falcons. Nico's got a clear line that drops the duel to James. And Kicksand just awaits. It's the next layer of support instead that starts to get this back. A Zway 1v3 needed at 30 seconds. Oh, and Kicksand's got that instant headshot. So the Falcons' recovery is very much on.
And there we go, the first rifle round on the board for the Falcons. full strength buys on both sides. They come up because m0n0sy is put into an interesting spot, and I think again the flashes had baited them into a sense of security that really wasn't there. They probably assumed that once they got that info, they were going to abandon it, look for something else to push. And that's exactly what you want to see from a calling perspective here for Falcons.
本当なんかいいマップだよね、ミラージュ。絶妙なこの車線の通り方してて。
We're nearing that point of the game where James is going to start tapping into the back of his brain. The dark corners that usually put rounds on the board for PARIVISION.
もあったのかな。フラッシュはなしで、ミッドはクリアリング。
This is not a write-off. This is 2 AKs out on the field.
Oh yeah, they absolutely have to be concerned, especially with the amount of utility coming in. There will be a plan behind this.
A がメインの後入り。
I'm a big fan of the double connector setup, and if this leans towards A, they still have m0n0sy back on ticket. There won't be any kind of gamble here from the Falcons. That's not normally what you're going to see from them, but they're just making sure to evenly spread the map.
ちょっとニコがこの試合はうまくはまってないですから。
Late smoke comes down. Noda starts to get a little bit closer to being a threat in connector.
まあファーストピック取られちゃうとか。
Just be careful with your gaps. And m0n0sy's relying on someone to cover this for him, but he's tucked behind ticket for now.
Ooh, this one's going to get Nico to make a move. Kicksan finds his. Nico will continue that spray through, and they saw that player drop, so Nico picks up the kill. A multi-frag moment for Nico. Looking to stretch out for that gun. Wait, lift it up. He got it. Him and Belchinok have now pieced half of this 2 versus 4 together. The problem for them is they took a ton of damage in the process. m0n0sy reveals himself. Nate goes out, doesn't finish either. Now m0n0sy's down to half health. And so Tessas is here to alleviate the pressure, or does it just make a beautiful moment for Belchinok? I don't think so. He gets cut down. PARIVISION put on the pressure, but Falcons doing the same thing in reverse, as now it is only a 2-round game.
Yeah, so we know that they couldn't assume that round was going to fall into their lap. They had to fight. PARIVISION make it very close here. It's scary when that AK gets picked up and actually turns into a kill. It's really nicely done here for Zway. But what they've accomplished is keep the money low on the other side, make a few extra bucks.
いい感じにキルは入るようになってきてるから。
This will be the second full rifle attempt here for PARIVISION in the second half.
オーバータイムになってからにもしなってもなんか大丈夫そうですね。
Thriving enough so to maybe run a risk in this one.
ミッドのカウンター。
Yosuke thinking about it, but there's a lot of bodies on the other side of that smoke. And he can only spray down one.
Oh, they got totally baited into that push. The flash made it feel like there was someone to re-clear that. They were really hoping that Falcons were going to overextend.
ただ、京介1キル返してるからね。
There are some games going on now with recent matches between these
これはちょっ
teams.
とまあ希望がありますかね、ファルコンズとしては。
And it's only at that point in the game where Falcons have done enough and earned enough rounds and have enough of an economy going where they can kind of make an aggressive move like that. Haven't seen any other round where Falcons are at the top of middle. They try it here in the 19th.
They literally all played anti-flash. Like no one was even there ready to be aggressive for PARIVISION.
We'll see if it costs Falcons, but m0n0sy just missed that timing on the climb up.
m0n0sy, what I'm worried about for m0n0sy is that he ends up dying. I don't even know if there's a chance that they can win this round with no defenders inside of B.
His attention turns back, but it's already fan control. Misses the flick downwards and gets dropped down to 30.
Oh! I mean, this is just totally a frail setup. Like, there's no chance now. They don't even know about the node alert just yet.
And that's what could make it even worse for Falcons, is if Kicksan can't get away with his save. Notes is on the hunt. Tessas found out he's got a duel at hand. He's got to fight if he wants to hang on to that M4. And he talked about how much money the Falcons still have to tap into. But what they don't have is a wealth of rounds to give away. And sure enough, PARIVISION take this one.
You take a snapshot of that last situation, and that's a moment where if it was the other team, if it was PARIVISION, they would have made a gamble call whether it was A or B. And what that would do, obviously, is you'd have a chance of actually winning, whereas m0n0sy on Cat doesn't really have a chance to defend versus 5. He has to be responsible for Cat and B site. I mean, maybe in Falcons' mind they're hoping it's just A. He can protect connector and then they have a good stack. But obviously this is the perfect way to kill him and keep the money at its lowest. But Falcons still have enough to buy, a little bit left over.
Yeah, よくこれ1キル返し切ったよね。いや、あとはこの鬼フリック。
Saw that timing going by. Watch this. Zello didn't waste a second.
And he was dead by Noda or Zello eventually.
Get the Kyosuke op, double op variation here by Falcons. Going to try to change things up. Trying to prevent PARIVISION from securing that 12th, but you could have this James versus Kyosuke op duel in a second.
I don't know if he's pushing if he doesn't have anyone to help him go forward. He might feel some pressure to take a risk, but no one's going to outpatience James.
That's going to keep him locked in now. Just anything to prove that there is somebody deep in there.
さあ、京介 1B の、テイセスは、ほぼほぼミッドだろうね。B のアクション来るまでは。
So they've got an op stuck in on both sides of the map.
早めに追っちゃうのかな。
Flying under the radar.
いや、いいブレイクだけど。
うわ、惜しい。Okay. Monty sees something, but can't stop it.
Kyosuke now towards Cat hits this yellow headshot. Right back for a second, and he's yet to miss. Activates Tessess from inside the corner. Guns have looked good in the hands of Falcons ever since they switched sides. And this one catches PARIVISION off. Kyosuke with a triple now. As Zue late to activate. Him versus all of the Falcons. And PARIVISION thinking that catwalk attack was going to get things moving. No, sir. Ops are the name of the game here in round 20.
All right, now it's getting hot. That was excellent out of Kyosuke. 2 excellent rounds paired with some eco frags here and there, but he got that M4 to get their 3rd in the first half. He put together this op highlight, obviously, when they don't know that there's an op station over to B. The second shot is very difficult. And the third's just great awareness. That's the star power they were looking for when they signed him.
Faster tempo to the ramp this time. Doesn't feel like PARIVISION want to complicate this one. Up and over go the utility, already exiting the ramp. Nico's going to be under pressure. He'll find the first. Zello has been effectively cut off in so many of these rounds. His score is now negative after having such a hot start. Noda to try and pick up slack, and as Monasi offers half of his health inside of the fire, the frag doesn't open the smoke. So Nico can't get back into the engagement on his terms. Pressure from James has to forfeit the plant, and he wants off this bomb site.
He doesn't have the HP to do it. Noda's going to try. 52 HP.
Uncontested. An op shot missed by Monasi, now whittled down to only a quarter of his health.
And it's a 2-off retake.
Faster move from Tessess as he's got them painted there on top of the triple stack. Sway's able to fight his way back into it. Look at the health bars here for PARIVISION. Hanging on, fighting for 12. Kyosuke's got 2 in front of him and a fast fight from mid. The gun goes empty, and so PARIVISION's perseverance nets them a 12.
One more bullet, and he might have got that spray transfer, but instead it's match point here for PARIVISION. They were chewing on granite in that retake. They really needed Tessess to finish off one of those Tetris kills. All timeouts burned through.
The bullets were flying on that bomb site. The utility was burning James as he has to forfeit it. And that's when you know that in that moment, you're in one of those impromptu scrambles. That's Jane calling note to pass bomb, make this move, I'm taking this position. A total change up in a matter of seconds. And PARIVISION just draw Falcons into the carnage of the gunfight and come out on top.
And they're generating chances for Monasi to get op shots. But they're tough op shots, and he doesn't land them. Then there's a volley, then there's a flash, he gets shoved back. Responsibility goes to Tessess, he goes down, and that's where you know it's over. Again, a valiant try here for Kyosuke. Gun goes dry right before that Tetris player peaks. And now they're on the ropes.
3 rounds in regulation to close this. Op on Monasi is the only one in the server in what could be the final round of Mirage. They totally forfeited middle last round as well, PARIVISION. Smoked out connector, pressure coming through by way of util, and it's just Kyosuke up in that hole, looking down towards the smoke now, making moves back and forth. Step one to take the space, and PARIVISION have secured it. A perfectly placed Molotov. That's going to force Kyosuke's hand. Now they know damn well where he is and what he's up to. And this is going to be cause for concern for potentially some kind of cap pressure, but we can look at that radar and say it's something different.
Kixen has to protect from Palace, but he's in sandwich. He's not going to stay peaked the entire time. Monesi's going to lose this angle towards connector. The sight is weakening, even though they have players here.
And he's just waiting for that chance to hit left click. For the one player of PARIVISION that could walk out this ramp right there on the edge. Jane takes a bit of damage out towards mid, but it's actually the Palace drop first. What was momentarily a 5v3 has Belchanog building back.
Nice.
But you shut him down, and you'll put Sway to a clutch attempt again. Now, at least for him, he's got himself this bomb and a little bit of space. So he goes for the fake plant to try to get that peek, and they don't bite. They move that opera over towards jungle instead. It's Monesi and Kyosuke to that side of the bomb site, and Tess over here towards Ticket.
He does give himself a real chance to plant now.
Bit of cover, but a lot of damage, and that 96 health, yeah, that's what he needed to try to have a chance.
Very solid. This is immense pressure. You couldn't see anybody, but the tension was building greatly. Falcons could sense that it was going to end A in this position. They had the players, the amount of players to cover everything, but so much came down to timing. Kixan had a peek at that right moment, didn't get killed while he was playing in sandwich. Monesi was hoping that he could rely on him to make sure he keep lines open and be effective, and he was. And also, Kyosuke just waiting for his opportunity to sneak out of ladder room, even though they were throwing tons of utility in his direction.
Felt like the amount of utility and the sort of utility in how well it was placed that could cause you to make a mistake, but he didn't.
Yeah. No, that's a great round for Falcons. It's a lot of pressure for PARIVISION. It wasn't like a total disaster for them. That window smoke is, however. And that's a line Nico's holding on to.
To see them come in with two players on rifles.
They know it right away.
Keeping a bit of money in the back pocket. This is 5 rounds back and forth, no consecutive victories, so round loss bonus is not reliable for PARIVISION.
They're trying to play around it. Still going for middle. Looks like it's coming in. It's another test here for Kixan. A couple of good rounds now on CT side.
Just trying to get the right pieces in the right place. This is limited utility for PARIVISION as they didn't fully invest. Met by a smoke over towards that ramp. It landed at 45 seconds.
Oh, God, again. He could get on Ticket and punish him if he wants to. But he might be worried. I mean,
oh, the pressure. PARIVISION critically missed utility this round. James tries to bail them out with an opening kill at least. It's a smoke, excuse me, incendiary to the Palace, but it did open the door for that pistol to cross. Monesi not going to let Sway get away with it any further.
Palace comes out.
James took a bunch of damage in the meantime. That was also a bomb dropped over towards triple. We're talking 12 seconds on this clock. Bomb gets picked up. Monesi steps out, strikes down James, forces the Palace swing. You find nothing.
That's a plant at the very minimum here for PARIVISION, but another solid round from Falcons.
And a scary amount of mistakes for PARIVISION in the same moment.
Two big smokes that don't land. This one's supposed to waterfall, help players come out of connector, get up to the side of triple safely. It's supposed to block Monesi's vision, who, as we can see, is taking full advantage of this missed chance. And he's kind of been spamming Ticket in this half. It's actually been working out pretty well.
They played it to perfection. Give themselves one final real chance with everything they need here.
So many maps between these two teams. Ends 13-11 in favor of PARIVISION.
Yep.
Falcons just don't want that to happen again.
This is what James does.
And of course he would never risk it on a rush. He's going to make you sweat. He's going to try to create that pressure within your own head. The Falcons with all their experience in this head-to-head.
Man, they haven't pushed this since Kicksan got that double kill off the 5-7.
It's being watched. One check.
Yeah, このダブル
Yellow in the deepest corner. Belchinok's got the double. That deep commitment gives man advantage over, but is man advantage enough?
It's really early. Minute 15, they get that 2K.
Falcons make the move. They do it on their terms, but now they've found out about that secondary off. So how does that change things in James' calculations?
This is massive. Kyosuke doesn't have any help in this spot. He's got to protect B with his op alone.
いやー、まあ今大会めちゃくちゃいい
Not of
で
his
すかね、
concern.
京介。
They've
もう
just
さばい
taken
ちゃうん
that
じゃない
up. Yeah,
これ
you'd think he's got to lean towards market. They've just cleared out the A ramp.
う
It
わ
could be
訂
Palace,
正も
obviously.
ダブル B や
Some kind of first. They just
ただ
missed
回ってる
Now they're past the windows and Kyosuke under the pressure will miss. SS gets his. Belchinok, no way you do this on your own. Triple kill, as he's also responsible for the bomb plants. And obviously you want Monesi to be a part of this retake too, but SS actually slips out through the windowsill. He's gone unnoticed. And it's Belchinok down to 20. James, they don't know where he's gotten off to.
And Belchinok doesn't die.
James will remain a mystery in this potential clutch as Belchinok goes quiet back behind the pillar. Utility comes out, has no effect. Doesn't fluster. The PARIVISION squad. James strikes. Monesi trying to hunt him down. And as he keeps himself in cover.
And time pressure.
It's right there in the wall bangs. Landed bomb. James just ends it. When he wants, where he wants, how he wants. 13-11 like PARIVISION always seem to do.
It's unbelievable to see this scoreline happen again. Like clockwork, almost as if they knew it was going to end this way. Falcons, at least in that second half, won the second round, bounced back, started picking up rifles, but it all felt just a little bit too late.
All right, Nico, that first half won't be going on your highlight reel, will it?
No, that's what happens when you talk shit in injury, I guess.
The thing is, look, you've played so much CS. I'm sure that you always know what it takes to come back when things are hard like that.
Yeah, no, we had a good plan on City's side, and I think we believed until the end. And you know, just small margins, I would say, in the end on City's side. Maybe the last round was a bad call by me that, you know, I saw something in preparation that I thought was going to be good. It didn't work out in the end, but it's super important for the next map that we managed to bounce back on the City side and got into the game eventually.
Just before I let you go, can we go to map 3?
I surely hope so.
Best of luck.
There was a little bit more reservation in Nico's voice and answer, I want to say, about map 3, because, I mean, look, you got to give credit where credit is due. He's very well aware of what he said in previous interviews leading up to this, and whilst it looked like they were going to get absolutely stomped Dupree with what that first half looked like, they brought it back. It was just a Palace push that undid them.
Yeah, first off, I just want to give a little bit of respect to Nico, throwing himself on the bus when he had a little bit of a stinker, and then, you know, with what he said coming into the game. That was funny. For the majority of the match, I was, again, impressed with what PARIVISION brings. I think, specifically for the C side, I think they played well off each other. On the T side, you know, the clock is their friend until the clock is not their friend anymore, because they use as much time as they can. They make Falcons doubt themselves time and time again, and I think the last round was a really good example of what actually forces them to make a play, to get information. I actually think we're going to get it right now, so I can showcase you what's actually happening. Nico decides to push into Palace. Belchinok actually trades off getting a 2v2. What then happens is that, you know, Monesi right now, he doesn't know what's happening. Kyosuke gets the frag when the guy is approaching him on catwalk, but it's more about the decision making from Kyosuke now that is fun, because he actually smokes off catwalk here. And you can just tell that he doesn't know what's happening. They actually rotated around to go B bomb side. Belchinok gets a frag on him, gets a bomb down, and this is where the composure and the thing that PARIVISION does is they just wait out the round back. Belchinok stood at that pillar for like 15 seconds without moving himself. And Tessus, he did not know where he went. James just plays out time, baits out Monesi, waits for him to shoot, steps out, and kills him. And he solely played off the clock.
I also just love the mid-round from James. As soon as he sees that or hears that Kyosuke is on shore with the AWP, just says, we're going right at him. Even though Kyosuke is the hottest hand there, he's reading the setup well, that a likely situation is going to be no B anchor in that kind of setting, that there is just going to be that one short.
よし、じゃあ13分後なんで、じゃあ2時50 5分頃またお会いしますか。いややっぱおもろいなこのゲームはね。今日の分のエイム練習して。 れやめて。ああ、難しい。70分むずいな。
Statement with what they have been giving and how long they've been playing together now, still fighting and trying to find that trophy. This is not looking good.
Well, we're sitting in the here and now, and we're looking towards what is going to be a fantastic match on Ancient.
Fingers crossed, Nat, that this game is as good as it could be. PARIVISION and Falcons, I mean, Falcons, it's now or never. And that's the scary part. Without your map pick in your back pocket, Mo, what do they really have to stand on? This is a map that has previously gone PARIVISION's way.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, too many trends with the way that last map ended. I feel like something different's going to happen now, but you have to hold out hope. Because the Falcons, this will be their last chance.
Last chance. Oh, it sounds like a damning phrase, but they feel it, you feel it. We can all feel the pressure for the Falcons in this matchup now.
There's something eerie about how many times it's 13-11.
He's the boogeyman, Mo.
Yeah. Round 24, James.
PARIVISION to the T side. And Falcons to make a move out mid immediately. That's a double climb up. That was Kyosuke down the ramp into the player outside B, but that was the only player B, so at least PARIVISION have that going for them. Their target always intended to be this other side. Nico on the scene fast enough with Tetses, and they lock down the donut. Belchanok tries to recover it. Jane does the same, but it's going to be another pistol victory here for the Falcons.
That's excellent. I mean, it's Nico getting his kills right away, which is what you want to see. Struggle session in the first half of Mirage. Everybody bounced back a bit when it came to the second half. Didn't have any questions about Kyosuke's performances. Monasi kind of matured with grace as those rounds rolled on, more and more off shots getting hit. Kicksand put up a couple of really important 2Ks and held the A site with him by his side. But just the third player you just want to be consistent all the time on this team is Nico.
He ends map 1, 8 and 18, 0.55 rating. I mean, just horrifying stats for a guy like Nico. Yeah. But over his career, do you find Nico, like, what's your take on that when it comes to the map-to-map reset ability of him particularly?
Yeah, I mean, you know, only I think because we're in the second half of his career, or, you know, time's going on, he's given up more star stuff to other players. He's a bit more inconsistent, obviously. He's not the guy, the killer that he was in 2018 or anything like that, but he's still very close, and that's the most impressive part about him. So, no, absolutely would not bet on 2 bad maps in a row. Oh, wow. Nice shot.
I'd say it's an even better bet to take when you also consider the way he was kind of laughing through it, throwing the 0 up to the camera. You know, Ian had him on the tip of the stage after that map ended.
A rookie can't do that.
Exactly. Yeah, a rookie would be in the back rooms with a few tears in their eyes. Yeah. Nico, he's been here before. He's, well, that was one of the worst, but, you know, just let it wash over you, get back in it. If there's so much effort and emphasis kind of on the mental side of Counter-Strike coming into these games, well, yeah, there's the mental and being able to close out rounds you're supposed to. There's also the mental and the bounce back. And let's just hope that those two things are kind of clumped together in whatever kind of training program you're putting Nico through to be able to make Falcons win.
It's going to be a real feast for Nico. Oh, he plays his cards right, but no, the one player running into Donut.
To the Glocks, that's a bit more like a feast.
But now the plant comes in.
If anybody's eating well, it'll just be Kyosuke.
And they pick up some utility.
Oh, mess this up. Kicksand, that was dangerous for him to try to just test that smoke. Could have put himself in a corner where James sprays him down, but I like that they just keep that at a 10. Keep the pressure on, and good on Kyosuke to save Nico's ass inside Donut, because that was scary.
Yeah, what's really scary about it is, like, it's the fact that it's one Glock running into Donut that changes the setup a little bit. They don't expect it to be this full A play out of main. But if Nico had just not moved and trusted Kyosuke in that spot, he would have had a really good signpost spray down and got those eco kills himself.
そっちも素晴らしかったし、まあ、ドーナツ主導で足音出してそこから後入りで4人で一緒に入っていくっていう。
Yeah, it did.
Because if he died, they can't actually just keep running through it.
And not one, but two guns picked up by PARIVISION in that post plant. So you get through it.
You got through it. That's all that matters.
Kixan decided to take control of the situation, and it paid off to keep majority alive. First gun round for PARIVISION coming out, and they'll go immediately towards the mid play. We've already seen the willingness of Falcons to try to take over middle and pressure lane. We saw it in the pistol with Zway dead, blindsided by such an aggressive opening.
残り1分13秒、12秒で、いやめちゃくちゃいいとこまで取れてますね、テロ。初動の動きとしては
Cave has been an interesting spot in
めちゃくちゃいいんじゃないですか。
as of late for different teams, some using it more than
い
others.
くらでもやりようがあるけど。
Mid control also, it's like more optional than it's ever been. From the CT perspective.
A 入りって感じですかね。いや、その定説のこの決め打ちしてくる読みの
showing a little skin like that. I mean, you see this Kyosuke lean back into the back line.
Exactly. Starts to encourage sort of a whirlpool of CTs to come and swarm the site and overprotect it as Nico starts to walk away from A.
Yep. More and more pressure and responsibility on Monasi alone.
Puts pressure on him to get two now.
At least Nico didn't fully depart. Still sat back by his spawn. Monasi pouncing as that utility comes out, but Belchanok got the entry. Then there's a bit of a stall there for PARIVISION. Nico slicing him down to size. Dodging bullets in the process. Site's gonna get set on fire. Jane though, oh, he's found a safety net, and this bomb plant's undeniable now. Fast move. Nico wants to go through it. Nota takes his head off, so the man advantage slides back. Makes the difference.
Now we're talking.
Nota's got a couple kills already. Shots clean, and he cuts it down into the 1v1 where Kixan just starts to try to crawl at him. Slight health advantage. Nota plays the box.
It's only haircuts.
Confidence to take it on his terms.
When he's on point, it's always headshots.
4 kills in that round to Nota alone.
うまかったね。ダブルピーク。
The swift response here from PARIVISION, getting this bomb down with the kill from Nota to assist and stop them from flying through this. But they wanted to keep risking
返したんだけど、まあこのやっぱ1キルで、もうほぼほぼパリって感じですかね。本当ね、ダブルピークとかいろいろやっても、1人目がね、ヘッショ速攻で抜かれちゃうと、また話変わってきますから。素晴らしい。声をかけました。あざす。OK です。
Damn near mirrored, just more utility for the T's to play with instead.
教えていただいてありがとうございます。
And that's been
that timing is huge.
They start to pass, they're going to try to right back in, you said it when he's on, it's headshots, and he delivers another one to kick off round 4. Looking to tie up Monasi along the wall. This is a high likely trade, but no! Monasi back into cover. And Belchanok trying to push that bomb forward. They're trying to get into the action. They get stalled out over towards Red Room. Nico's been found on top of green.
They're just playing with them.
Belchanok comes through with his second kill in the round, and never did Falcons B players get into the action.
Yeah, it's the two pistols never rotated over, but they needed a scramble. They needed extra urgency in that spot. Because once Nico became the only guy there, I mean, his spot's great if no one sees him. But they were so careful about every shoulder peek. They did not fly into that sight around the corner when Monasi was sitting there, and he stayed alive for a long time. But honestly, Belchanok's shots were insane. Nota's was an instant kill on Kyosuke. And it's just that smallest bit of insecurity in the rotation. Right when they leave mid, PARIVISION come flying in. Right when you think they're done jiggling, you go for a little bit of a wide peek, they're still jiggling you.
I think I love the call. 4 rounds into a half to go heavy Red Room walk up. And Kyosuke on that rotation making audio, it just expresses everything.
And no one else does a buy like this. They actually had like $1,300 on 2 guys. It's almost as if they said if you win with one, it's as if you haven't won.
Right.
And they wanted to make sure they have a strong economy to buy behind it. And so they even won this having 2 pistols.
No chance で
because they knew Falcons wouldn't have much either.
いに行く、丁寧にやりに行くこのパリの集中力というかね、丁寧さというか本当に素晴らしいですね。あるがない状態で確かにね。そういう時はね、6人目のプレイヤーとしてちょっとここペッコさんが俺がちょっとセーブ助けに行きましょうか。5-7 一丁だけ持って
from PARIVISION in that game. There was one or two tactics that baited them into kills from Falcons, but that's about it. For the most part, I think the creativity 100% leans towards PARIVISION. If I had to pick a team who was better at that.
一番最強のね、武器5-7持ってますから。
making maybe less mistakes in some of the smaller details. I mean, there were some awkward grenades out of PARIVISION as their half went on.
It's crazy they could afford that. Right. It's crazy, yeah, because you're right. Even within rounds, they were missing. It's not their map, though. They have the 3-round loss streak on the map.
定説でワンボイワン交換できればいいっていう。
They've bucked that trend.
オネジーも寄ってきたね。足音は聞こえてる？ミッド側の。
So as these pistols remain hidden in their corners, PARIVISION get to work taking over Donut and finding these. Okay, Noda is on the sort of start within this T side.
Yeah, if we watched him play, sometimes it's 0 kills, 0 and 5, and sometimes it's just only headshots. You don't have a chance to shoot back whatsoever. He's having one of those days.
The sort of starter performance we got out of Zello back on Mirage, and as that game went on, Zello cooled off. The rest of the teammates kind of prop him up. If Noda's going to do the same thing here, let's see how long he can run with what feels like right now very precise momentum.
Very blessed to have that on T-side Ancient to start off their map pick as well.
Particularly on a map as well where Sway and Zello still don't have kills, and we're early days, but that's just to really emphasize that Noda's got them in. I mean, we saw it, I think, a round ago when Kyosuke's in the CT spawn. Noda's the first guy from Red Room. That's an instant headshot.
Yeah, that's what Kyosuke does to you sometimes if you peek, and also Belchinok's getting pretty impressive entries. So the lead will go back to PARIVISION. It's not the end of the world here for the Falcons. They'll save 2 guns. They'll now have the money to buy.
してほしいですね。バルブにどんぐらい課金したらその権利もらえるかな。ナイフ50本ぐらい買わないとダメですかね。
Silver lining is it's dropped AK over for Kyosuke. He'll get himself the op.
多分 VIP 会になると1試合に2回ぐらいまでアウプデリバリーしてもらえると思うんで、ちょっとそこまで行きたいですね。
Just been scary the way that PARIVISION have played as a unit, right? There's always 3 around the corner when they do commit to their sights so far in this attack.
野田さんの勢いがいいですね。
That's the kind of tempo and timing that could, oh yeah, catch you off. So they're going to go ahead and play this one faster right into Kicksan's hands. Good trade frag. Once more headshot out of Noda.
いいフラッシュ。わあ、うまいの出たね。いや、その壁抜きもうまいし。
But vision recovered by Zello, and he's able to catch 2. Now that op shot misses. These are heavy hitters for Zway to go up against.
Do not bungle this position. Sway's already trying to calculate.
Looks like Monesi still got his angle though. Fire didn't really flush him off the line.
He technically could leave if he wants to. Monesi peeled back a little bit. That molly to delay, and he's walking down the ramp, but does he want to go for the fight? No.
さあ、マインドゲームのお時間ですか。うわ、これは
It's the smallest fate with the biggest impact, and now Sway can actually make this 1v2 happen. Nico's only bit of support is gone. He's slow to move. Sway is moving with conviction, and this bomb will get planted.
Spotted on the right side, double Molotov from the right side, keeps his head tucked, repositions, slams Monesi off guard, and now just straight up door versus Nico.
There's no big flank in play. And Nico now has to figure out, has he played it into Donut? He has one molly, that'll tell us everything.
まあ最初に鳴らしたのは非常に素晴らしい。足音で気づいた。モードでカウンターする。
Now it's going to be a while before Nico can tap that bomb again, but he is still working with the kit. Bombs past the halfway point. Both fire bombs burn out at the same time. Nico taps and he's turned.
He saw him turn around.
Sway's played with his food here, and as Nico goes wide, Sway back into the cover. Wow! Devils in the details and the PARIVISION.
これさ、ジャンプピークした時に振り向いたの見えたのかな。
We never gave him any credit for his ability in those 1vx situations, but look how he played that. It was magnificent. It's taken all the money away from Falcons, absolutely crushed them.
いや、キックさん、まずこの先頭、一番先頭、1-1空間したのが非常に素晴らしくて、僕は自分でフラッシュから訂正する。綺麗にキル返したけど、いや、このキルが素晴らしかったね。ミリオキ対決、振り向いてるの見えてんだ。素晴らしい。
Even the jump spot to see Nico turn around, that was the only chance he had to fight back.
What if I told you that was Sway's only kill so far
いや、
this
ニ
map?
コもね、最後燃えながら鳴らすっていうところで、
All these next kills are going to be because of him as well. Kyosuke is going to
ちょ
have
っとうまいマインドゲームというか仕掛けしたんだけど、
There's enough money on 3 players here for Falcons.
さあどっちにしろだな。
Think about it.
まあ、右置きのモネジキルしたのが
That's just crushing. You get the
すべ
hold.
て
You
で
get
すか
Tessas
ね。
jumping into the B site,
うまかったね
2K spray down. But the clutch is all that mattered. And honestly, even if they just won with 1, it just totally saves the situations for Falcons. They were outdone right there.
What a nasty reposition.
Yeah, that was
classy. A classy round of Counter-Strike out of Zwei, one that really puts the pressure back on Falcons. They're going to just mosey into this round with that one rifle on Kyosuke.
さあ、アウプジェーム。
2 players that have played together the
対
longest.
するファルコンズはデ
And
ィ
he
ーグ
got
ルの
right
リ
in the
ン
middle
に
of that chemistry.
京介が M4。
It's a boost for James, and he does have
エクセン
Kicksan
トね、
locked
普
on the
通
right
にこ
side
の
of this
B
angle.
ファストが結構強いから、
Flashbang's one
ちゃん
thing,
と
blinds
こ
the
のキック
offer.
さんの位置って最初
Nicely
から
done,
走ってない
spotted,
と
dropping
B
a
ファ
nade
スト
on
に
top of him. These Desert
間に合わ
Eagles
ない
across the
入
board
れ
here
ない
for
からね、この
Falcons.
ポジシ
Quite
ョ
a
ン。
lot of information. They aren't ready to actually take it to the A site, but they can take over mid. There's a full rotation, a scramble here
ファ
from
ル
the
コンズも
CTs to
な
get
うま
over
く返
here.
してたんだけどね。
Oh,
あら、
very, very bad grenade.
88 HP だから一応京介の M4 ヘッショでまあ倒せるようにはなりましたね。
Man, really going for these spams. It's going to get that walk up. James ready for it. That was just kind of meant to get the rifle into play. These wall bangs constant.
It's just body shots. It's leg kicks right now here for PARIVISION. They know they're on an anti-eco, playing all their advantages, looking for the push, and found
京介じゃ
one.
なくて
Starting to make their
リ
move
ーグルの
elsewhere as well.
人がやられ
Sizing
た
up
の
middle.
They do need to go get the bomb
プラス
actually quite quickly now.
まだ
However,
1ダメージも受けてな
Looks
い
like
っていう
Zway's
の
going
は
to be tasked with that.
まだ
He's
ワンチャ
worried
ンか
about
な。
any
さあ人
potential
数
A
削
main
られ
push.
て
the bomb
カウンター
actually
B。
has to come back this way too.
さあ FD うまい。
Flashbang.
素
Oh,
晴ら
that's
しい
Belchenok
フ
fully
ラッ
blind.
シュ。
Lucky to have gotten one of those
3
kills.
v 3ワンチャンあ
Bomb
るぞ
could
まだ。
always go back to A.
Oh yeah, it's got a
ドーナツも
hustle though.
But that's assuming Nico doesn't just blast Nota out of the round. That was his chance to do it. To grab that AK, to close down this bomb site. And he's still trying to toy with it, but missing opportunities.
I can't do it. That
James
bomb.
gonna put him on, down. Bomb arrives with barely any time left, but just enough of an option back over. So well done by Falcons to take that fight down ramp, and well done by Falcons to keep this round alive. They're not working with the kit.
野田さん次第。
But they do have the guns for the job, and they've got the time as well to just go for
いや
this
まずこっ
retake.
ち主
Keep
導
it
で。
clean. Sway gets contact, lines them up. Kyosuke, it's a team kill. But all it
また
takes
時間疲れ
would
る
be a
やつや。
headshot
もう
on
時間
Nota.
not.
He has no smoke to try to bait this out. He's not even working with a kid here. And they're not
い
falling
や
for
ーここ
It's
で
gonna go right back to it.
うわ無理
Get
だ。
back
もう
on
無
that
理だ
bomb.
な
It's
こ
a
れは
10
絶対
second
無理や。
defuse. Don't you make noise. Nota slides out, gets him off. But now there's no time. So
Yeah.
Nota plays it cool. It's another very costly clutch round for PARIVISION. But there's a moment in that
ちょっ
round
と
where
ワン
I'm
ブイ
thinking
は
Falcons could have won.
ワン
And that's
ブイ
where
は
I
制して
think
くる
Nico,
ね。
you know, the Nico we know sometimes he gets that. He had chances to get the Deagle killed. Not everyone could be expected to do that
このフ
when
ラッ
rifles
シ
are
ュは
running
もう
at you, but you do
150点
expect
です
that
よ。
from
めちゃ
someone
く
like
ちゃ
him.
強かった。いやここまでまだ
Unfortunately,
分
that
かった
would
け
have
ど
made the difference. To complement Kyosuke's 4K.
If Belchenok doesn't get a fully blind spray down on the bottom of B ramp, and that ramp push goes a little better for Falcons, keeping one extra
全
body
員ね
alive,
スピリッ
that
ト
round
であんま良
looks
く
so
なかった
winnable.
けどもうドンピ
That's
シャ
what got him into the game
ド
on
ンピシャ
Mirage,
になって
but
ますね
that's
やっ
not
ぱり。
happening here so far.
Guns back for Falcons here in round 8, but so far it's been PARIVISION's Ancient.
まあちょっとフ
Yeah,
ァ
we
ルコンズ
don't
が
have
変え
Falcons
て
like wanting to participate in
開
mid
幕
control,
ド
like
ー
you're
ナ
trying
ツ
to
ダ
play
ブ
like
ル
sort of the newer style of Ancient, but
ブ
PARIVISION
レ
are
イク
picking all
し
the
な
right
がら
rounds to poke into
ダ
it.
ブルピー
Sometimes
ク
they
が
avoid it
感じかな。
themselves. no one's really wasting utility on this area overall. But you're not getting those messy gunfights that teams lately have been trying to avoid.
いやうまく A メインは
Problem is, like, if you give it up, there's a space vacuum on the map. Like, you will give advantages over to the other team if they can just walk into it.
でかい
And there's Yellow taking
さあ
space.
京
The
介が寄れ
CTs
た
are rotating around the perimeter.
さあニコがここまでクリアリング
He's
してる
actually
から
already in
ね
donut, man. They don't even have a view of this.
い
This
や
kind
ー
of
トイ
looks
リ
like a
ドーナ
crazy
ツいや
map,
な
but
んか
what's
この
really
絶妙
interesting
に
is that if the bomb goes the
彼
way
らが噛み合って
of
る
A,
ただニコ
this push
め
could
ちゃ
come
く
up
ちゃいい
huge.
ぞ
Come on, Nico. What can you deliver? Blindside out
で
middle.
かい
And I think he would have got vision of the
ただ
bomb
エ
right
ボ上がっ
there.
てるあーこれ
They kind of just need to molly the
い
ramp.
や
Zellow's
ー
on this
ど
floor. You
う
gotta
す
watch
んの
him right
30
now.
秒
Oh, spotted! No, he got that! Nico!
あら
How
ー
did he miss that
終
kill?
わった
Nico gets a second chance to fully blindside, but instead he's the one to go
終
down.
わったかもしれん
Fast sprint, of course, for
うわネード
PARIVISION
直
into
撃
the A site off that, and then rifles flood out into their spawn.
あ見つけ
Jane
た
goes for the jump over, but as he goes back to the duel, he's gonna find bodies. Zellow's just tearing through everyone. 3 kills to his name, a deep challenge through. Belchinaut keeps on sprinkling in kills. How does Nico not get that?
Oh my god, the full 180. Nico had the
キ
drop
ル
on
でき
him
なかった
completely.
ら決勝を抜かれるという
Now the 0 and 9 start, like we didn't really see too many, you know, gunfights that were disastrous when he played back on Mirage. But here's a couple of rounds where you can really see the difference in the impact.
あー悲しいな
And it's round defining. That was the A site once again. That was going to get taken. Here's the money gone again for Falcons.
Oh
ミ
man.
スもダブルさあフラッシュレッドルームからのフラッシ
Another
ュで
blind spray down that nets them one. More where the first one stood. Yellow trying to get into the engagement too, but smoke grenades in front of him means Tesses has
ブ
still
ラインドで
a
抜
bit
い
of
て
a
きたの
pocket
ちょ
to
っ
play
とファ
behind.
ックですねこれ普通にあ見せた
Oh, Belchinaut taking damage on the climb up. That actually cuts off the bomb. Sway just got taken down by a third, but he's happy to just lock horns with Monacy.
うまいぞ
5-7 on the
めちゃく
flank.
ちゃいいタイミング
Tesses making noise, does still get a chance to fire at them, but they turn around, take him down to 40, and then just kill him too. This is PARIVISION making quick work now of Falcons on Ancients.
And now you can no longer say we made them look better than they are. They are good. They are super
人
strong.
間やめちゃいまし
And
た
they're the ones
いやでも
punishing
本当
Falcons
にで
for
も
their
さニコ
mistakes,
の
not
こ
the other
の
way around.
2個して見たけどあれ当たってないのはちょっとでもファックだと思うけどな
They got to be so proud of themselves for all the progress they've made in such a short period of time, and now we get moments like that. Sway 1v2.
かなんというか NT なのか何なのか
Remarkable progress for Destan's roster.
Yeah, you can find one hiccup, one mistake, and it's off of the back of also a godlike move from Zywoo. That 5 versus 1 that PARIVISION lost, I like that Dastan came out after and said, you know what, I hope that round, if anything, teaches my players that every single round has to be played at 100%. Every situation, right? Yeah. Don't hesitate, don't blink, because if you do, games will come back against you. And so this is a PARIVISION with a full throttle sprint towards the finish line so far on map 2.
さっきのラウンドもまあ
I believe
結
Only
果
Pixel
ファルコン
is
ズ
in
の
the
方が
house
ハマって
today.
たんですけどねまあうまくいかず
Damn.
いや27
Belchinaut, we talked about Noda, some of those early rounds. Belchinaut's delivered every single round but one.
Finished that first map 22 and 15. And with Noda's nasty entries and Sway's clutch, maybe you draw some attention away from him. But Belchinaut rock solid in this series.
いや
Currently an
これはもう
understaffed
ニ
A
コが
site. Nico pressing towards Donut.
Nico's Atlas right now with the weight of the world on his shoulders.
ニコが2キルしたらいけるかも
spray down. Kyosuke's
そうだ
gonna
京
try to
介もい
help
る
him out a bit.
トリップ
Oh, Cielo right to it with the headshot. Nico's still concerned about middle because he doesn't have any teammates over there.
Yeah,
and now with the smoke on CT lane, he needs reinforcements within this bomb site. Monacy tries to add himself to that tally. And here comes the peek out from Temple. Tesses and Monacy doing it. Nico offering just enough, and yes, damage goes back the other way. But a slow play from Nota, who's now down on half health as well.
Yeah, it's just such a slow lurk out of mid, and I think he's watching to see if anybody's rotating out of B first. That's essentially his job. Looked like PARIVISION were going to get away with that, but it's all of the rotational support here for Falcons that wins the round. Surely they close this out.
Monesi keeps considering it, but Nota has phased that he's ahead of the util.
まあちょっとファルコンズ側も全員寄れちゃったから。
Monesi caught off. Nota's got a chance.
I mean, how can he even plan?
10 seconds to try to chase it, force a mistake, maybe. Kicksan's got the
ちょっと
cover of CT
攻
lane.
めがもうちょっと早く完結してたら危なかったですけど。
Got that bomb down, but just making it a touch scary. Great Maltese here
いや
from the
これうまかったね。もうワンタップでしょこれ。もう無理やこれ。ノーチャンス。めちゃくちゃうまかったねこれ。ただよくこうねテイセスモネジーでキルしたよ。
Yeah, by 50 seconds they've started to move into the site. So it's very hard when you're trying to hide and cover and go for like a retake before the bomb even gets planted to know when the right moment is.
Right.
The other team isn't even moving. They have the bomb on their side.
まずラウンドを取れたのはめちゃくちゃでかいね。
Many teams, let alone a team like PARIVISION that can at times in what feels like these awkward mid-round moments just hit the pause and really watch. Like we watched them exit ramp back on Mirage and then just fall back through it.
Yeah.
So exactly what you said, but sometimes times 10.
Hey.
あ、3-7か。いやー、JM もアウク。
Kind of a cool guy.
さあ、アウク。いや、でかい。非常に素晴らしい1キル。さあ、A ファストも足元で気づいてます。あー。
Yeah, a little bit of info back. It's still early, actually. Bomb's not collected. Zway's still alive.
いやー、一回うまく全員にやられてるからね。ちょっとまだ全然チャンスありそうですよね。いやー、うまく入り込めちゃうと見つけた。危ない。でかいぞ見つけたの。
And here comes that utility. Really did a good job of holding on to this.
Additionally,
めちゃ
fire
くち
cuts
ゃなん
off
か
the
いいモルト
rotation
フ
for
みたいに
just
なっ
that
てる。いや、プラントまで入るのか。
Zway deciding to try to extend
い
here.
やー、ただこれ以上ピークするとシャドウ見えてるからね。
They're getting closer, and Zway loses his head. Nice shot by Kicksan. That nade goes a little too far, and the retake kept clean on the side of Falcons. This CT side will stand on, at the very least, a 4th round.
Yeah, it's very solid here for Falcons.
いや、まずはモネジのファーストキル。ナイスキルだね。あんまりちゃんと見えてなかったと思うけど、よく当てきったし、ここもナイスカバーだった。
Fought there so many times that it's just becoming a mess of grenades. Instead, they're picking the rounds where they think PARIVISION could come in light. Here's a great easy chance for Monesi to get involved. I think that's what they're looking for with that engagement.
ただ、まだ
About time that we see Falcons string 2 rounds together. Just like on Mirage, 2-0 start, and then a hell of a cold streak. Ultimately, PARIVISION goes from their first gun round to the final round of the half with majority rifles more often than not.
非常にいいネードだけど、誰もいなかったね。
Slight limitation in this one. And once more,
なんかようやくこのテイセスがこの辺ちょっと壁抜きしてね、ちょっと嫌がらせできるいい感じだね。てか今のこれここでブーストすると。ギリ見えないんだね。頭の高さ。
How does he know? Tell me how James knows.
いや
And from that moment, he's
これ
also
強
worked
い
forward.
です
So
よ。
Monesi's
ア
probably
ウク
still
の
not expecting an offer to be around this line because at some point you'd think it would have been on the box.
Yeah, and like, could they hear this? No. Oh, let's just run by.
Try to test it and Kicksan from the corner. Been found out with first blood. Zway comes suddenly out through the cave, and now Monesi's still waiting for his chance to fire off. Misses, and the bomb site's been taken over. Well placed utility once more.
They have a molly. They're going to try to
あとは
spam
これ抜かれなければ。
Kyosuke takes one out, and the timing and Sam is
そ
perfect.
れはファルコンズがうまい。
They find the pressure within the bomb site to deny that bomb plant. Smokes fade, and now it should be a world of hurt for PARIVISION. Nota's gone unnoticed, but as he takes that step out, he's dead. And that is a streak for the Falcons to try to keep their heads held high. 5 rounds on the defense.
いやでも結構ね、ワンサイドで大丈夫かなと思ったけど、よく最後3ラウンド返したね、ファルコンズも。
Nico. That's a good one, yeah. I'll double down on that one.
Dork will get crazy, Nico smash the table, Jimmy fuck up the keyboard.
It doesn't say punching a teammate.
To smash something, that's a different story. But to break, I think it's pretty unlikely.
You know what, I'm gonna say yes. I think we're gonna show up this tournament.
I think it's possible actually. I would say they will not make it.
I think there's a possibility for everything. There's a possibility for Liquid to make it to the finals, right?
まあせっかく1試合目早めに終わってね、1時半スタートになってるわけだから、まあ3マップ目までね、
Maybe 1% for gamblers.
見たいですね、せっかくなら。
I feel like it hasn't happened in so long. The only thing I remember is the Vice when he like, it like almost fell.
Some of the trophies are heavy. You know, Donk's like a little excited. Tries to like raise like a trophy, it's a little too heavy for him.
やっぱパリ強いな、この次テロファルコンになるわけだけど、攻めきれんのかね。なんか
You have to put us to make it to playoffs from the qualifying.
Yeah, we gotta say yes.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
打ち合いもやっぱ普通に強いけど、本当いいよな、距離感。打ち合い方、タイミング。
They're gonna do the good old strategy of losing before playoffs so that they can win in playoffs.
Fear, yeah. I don't know why. I just have a feeling.
Yeah. Free money for us. We're making big banks.
If you go into OT, someone could be near 30 kills for
うまく京介のキルが集まって、ラウンド拾っていければ。
Obviously, yes. Donk. Maybe. Or Zewu.
なんかラウンド逆転して勝てそうですけど。
It will be him.
That's definitely possible.
Yeah, I think that happens pretty often. That's a big possibility.
It will probably happen to us. we are reading like 9-3 on Dust 2, you know?
Yeah.
And then we go this side.
Yeah. It has happened to us and we also done it.
Oh, I hope so. I love when Grand Finals go to 5 maps. I'm gonna say yes just because I want it to happen.
For me, it's like a 50-50.
3-1 for someone, I call it now.
3-0.
We are in the 0 on the 3.
You never know.
We'll see on the first map.
Yeah.
How about we make our own predictions? What if someone does a shoey in the crowd?
Someone goes for a knife kill but ends up getting shot.
There will be a ninja defuse in the playoffs.
Ninja defuse in the playoffs.
I think that's a good one.
I think that's a good one. I would put my money on this one.
Me too.
Free haircuts for most of that half as the headshots rolled through on PARIVISION's squad, but we get an answer. Is it enough of an answer for Falcons to stand on now that they take to the T side? What do you think, Rotterdam? Do Falcons still have a chance?
Oh yeah, they really believe.
And who thinks it's Jame time?
That is pretty 50. It might be a little bit towards Falcons, honestly. So they'll have to go up against it, against all odds, as usual.
Everybody loves an underdog.
Yeah.
Falcons trying to hang on with an aggressive opening.
A スプリット早めの攻めどうするんだろう。A1 もピークしてる。あー、ドーナツも抜けさばかれてます。
Gut-wrenching feeling for the Falcons starts to creep back in.
Yeah, this could be super one-sided, and how ready they were for this pistol also just speaks to their preparation, how consistently they've shown the reads.
SS would love a duel at this distance. You know, one free kill, just to put it into question. Peel one player off this bomb site.
They don't even really, they want to peek just for fun at this point.
They're so good at playing on the absolute limit and then baiting you into that.
Yeah.
Yellow, the front runner of that core. And now that it's a 5v1, they know they've got this. So they'll shut down Kicksan over towards Donut. It's a rough half, but one that the Falcons could still weaponize. It just gets all the more daunting with a T-side pistol win.
Yeah, they've answered back that 3-round streak at the end of the last half, but you know, we could have seen a better half from Falcons. The thing was that PARIVISION won all the right rounds. Again, from that Zway 1v2, and every time they won a close round, it became a save for Falcons in the next. just showed when it mattered the most. Unfortunately, they couldn't put them together. That's why they're here playing from the back foot. No plant, no buy. Just blocks.
次が勝負ですね。
Ready to take their beating in round 14. Belchanok remains the tip of the spear on the scoreboard for PARIVISION, and here over towards the A side, operating alone, very alone. Glock headshot.
さあスピードアップうまいぞ。めちゃくちゃでかい。あー、でかいでかい。
Beyond that, let's see what they can do because there's an
あー、
MP9
めっ
in
ちゃで
Tess's
かい。
hands.
また
Yellow's
削
down
っ
to
てる。
18 health. Things could
う
still
まいぞ。
get dangerous.
これは。
Unbelievably so.
Yeah, this is full Glocks, no investment
いや、グロ
whatsoever.
ックラウンドでこれ取れるこれ。いや、ただ、いやー、これ 100HP の M4 が強すぎるかも。
That'd be great, but they'll get on top of that bomb. 5-second defuse coming through, and Tess's MP9 not able to get in there.
$600 稼げ。$600.
Considering 5 Glocks came flying out through A main.
What was smart at least is that they had all the SMGs. Perfect 4 Glocks. If you lose them, you only give over an SMG. So Tessa's got an extra kill with that. That's when it got marginally scary, and this initial dink actually made the difference.
一緒だし、このスピードアップも素晴らしいしね。ドーナツもスライドしながらトリプルピークみたいになってたから、グロック走るうちの。でそれでヘッションも一発入ってね。いや、惜しいな。ただベストヘルメ付き 100HP M4 ちょっと強かったかもね。
Tries to double back through that smoke.
あ、
I don't know if
これ死んだんじゃない？
realized
これ。
just how dangerous that was. Tries to go back down in between the smokes, but it's within those smokes that PARIVISION stood. In the meantime, middle gets taken over. We still got this PARIVISION heavy B lean. James operating alone on the other side of the map.
He's in a spot where he can just watch things and
Yeah,
get
more
away
up
from
出てる
this.
し。
Confirms they're getting closer. Smokes one end of the attack. And Tesses would have to be really brave to try to come through that.
Belchanok just clears out Red Room, doesn't see
これ
anything.
残り1分。
James knows that Donut's gone.
The bomb is starting to get back towards B, it feels
少ない
like.
ですか？2個
And they
ス
can
モー
start
ク
to
投
walk
げ
away
た。
from this. There's not really
あ
inroads
とス
made
モ
from
ークは
Kyosuke
京
just
介の
yet.
1個。
He's just at the
まあ
mouth
ただ
of
ビー
cave.
ガーならスモーク1個モロトフ1個で。
I mean, this smoke could help. They
まあ
push
プラ
through
ン
though. Don't
ト
see
まで
anything
はい
donut.
けるから。
How long do PARIVISION decide to stand here? Because Falcons getting ever
ケーブ
closer
上が
to
れてる
just
のもでかい。残り
emerging
40秒。
through the cave.
さあ
Sway
寄っ
gets
てき
active.
た。
All starting to walk over
映
now,
画
but
ク
they're
リア
in
しても寄
rotator
ってきて
positions.
ま
This
す。
could be good
パ
for
リ。
Falcons.
There's a belt of
い
utility
や
here for Cielo.
ー、
He
この
puts
遅
that
延の
incendiary
モロ
right
ト
ahead of
フ
them,
だ
and
い
then
ぶ
that opens the door for what
き
was
つい
left
ぞ
of the
これ。
rotation.
しかも B メインスモーク。
Now we get the response out of
いや、これプラ
Falcons,
ント
dropping
まで
their
いけない
grenades,
とも
confirming the presence.
う。裏も来て
Spray
る
goes
し。
through a little ahead of
い
time.
や、プラントしきんないと。
They're able to cross over still. Tesses looking for his duel. That's a deep frag grenade, and Tesses dies empty-handed. It's Kyosuke at that next. 5v3 for PARIVISION's retake. You think this bodes well. They play off Sway's flank, line up, and a good answer back as Nico secures the 2 headshots. And with 20 health though, James got him dead to rights. PARIVISION to double digits.
One good 2K spray down right
なん
there.
か
But
ワ
we
ンチ
saw
ャ
the
ンあり
gap.
そう
It
だったけ
existed
ど。
for about 5 seconds when Kyosuke was
3
walking
キ
into
ル
the
一気に
cave.
入っ
They
たから
just
ね。
needed to
ワン
move.
チャンありそうでし
They
たけ
gave
ど。
PARIVISION enough time to not
い
be
や、もう
worried
パ
about
リ
that
う
smoke
まか
that
った
landed
ね。
over on the A
プッシ
side.
ュで全員寄って。
And even though they had
ケ
initially
ーブの
pushed
モ
it,
ロ
they
ト
had to
フ
leave
で
some
遅
room
延。
for
で
doubt
Bメ
that
イ
maybe
ン
there
の
was
ス
like a
モーク
donut
で遅
play that was
延。
coming in a little bit more slowly.
で、その間に全員が上がってくる。
So even with the Nico
で、全
2K,
員が
it's
上がっ
not
てくる
enough.
までもちゃんとね、カウンターで待ち構え
That
て
one
たし、
kill and you know really could have
人
made
数
it
かけてね
a。time pressure situation
いや、非
as
常
James'
に
4th kill.
人数有利からのこの防衛がうまかったですね、パリの。
Flash caught those CTs. So they dive through the T-smoke into Donut.
いや、ウープでクリアリング。い
Hunting early. He's going to catch that
や、
timing. Yeah,
それ
Cielo
は
not
い
ready
かつ
for
い
it.
ね。
But nice boost
い
from
や、ただ
Nota
ブ
to
ー
at
スト
least
で
keep vision out towards middle, and
返
they
して
go
いく。
tit for tat. 4v4. And even with that op kill inside of the cave, there's not necessarily much behind it.
Belchanok just
あー、
took
ジェーム
control
が
and
覗
saw
いてま
nothing
す。
here.
Jim
And
on the other
James,
トレ
side.
ードできた
that's kind
ら
of where you want to have the op, but is he actually going to stick
全
around
然
is the
悪くないけ
question.
ど。
The bomb gets cut off.
Uh-oh, that's going to indicate
Yeah.
trying to inch their way either towards the donut or towards the red room. Tesses unable to fully kill James. Ready for the next duel. Take some health off Zwei as well, who he now knows is pinned against the left side. For as long as Tessa stays here, Zwei is stuck. But they come and bring players back. Tessa's starting to consider that threat. Yeah, they're going to come to me. And as they do, they'll deal with him. A commitment into the A site. Monesi and Nico versus 3. Only for a moment as Monesi gets that deep angle. Misses his shot. And Belgian throws Nico into the clutch.
You'd think that was a must-kill position. 1v2 from Nico from Donut. No smoke to approach him.
投げ物はない。
Both CTs with a kit.
They might go top of default here and try to go for a high-low setup as they stick to the fuse.
タイミング勝負。
Just instantly layer up and take the kills. Way perfect precision on that headshot. No chance to even shoot for Nico. And an 11th round for PARIVISION.
I love the way that they identified that Tessa was a threat for Zwei, but then on top of it, a potential kill. And you had to forfeit a little control of the bomb site. It's within that moment, Nico and Monesi get out. But at least by going and securing the Tessa's kills, you know it's 3v2 if a retake has to happen.
対するパリも人数有利でケースがレッドローム入れるの分かってね、人数かけて両サイドからトリプルピークか。ただそれでね、その間に映画は入れて 2v2 モネジーがね持ってったのもうまかったけど
They wash their dishes as soon as they finish eating. They don't leave it for later. And that's what's working so well for PARIVISION. They look very fluid, hitting all their shots.
There was a conversation coming into this game where we were looking to the playoffs and waiting for Kyosuke's impact. He is on track to finish both these maps towards the top of the scoreboard. It's the human-esque elements of Monesi and Nico that are trying to raise the floor, but Falcons just can't keep up individually, so the bloodbath that is out towards middle offers 2 kills both ways. Nico down to half. Zello would welcome this challenge, but in that moment, Nico's the guy that hits the headshot. 7 health to make the difference here.
Yeah, that's something. They'll have a 3v2 advantage off this kill as well. James trying to swing around this, and Falcons, look, they want to make it simple.
James in the middle of it all. Is Nico tucked in? Yeah, plays behind it in the cover of the box. James wants to take a peek on ramp, and that's when Nico activates. Nico is the reason this round is coming together for Falcons.
Absolutely. A nade landed square on his feet. He took half his health off. A couple more bullets, one more, and he was dead. And instead, he makes that 2 frags. Listen, it's a drop in the bucket for some of the missed opportunities, but it's still a chance here for Falcons and stops map point from happening.
キル入れたね。どっち上の人か下の人か分かんないけど。
Won't be seeing Zwei attempt this one.
まずは京介が素晴らしかったですね。よく持ってったし、効果の後にはニコがよくキル持ってったしね。とても素晴らしかったですね。
PARIVISION have not just built up an enormous bank. Should be pretty important that Zwei saves this gun if he can.
Ooh, or is he just looking to rack up a cost against them?
大丈夫かそれ。
I don't think he's here at all.
それやられるほどお金を入れなかったと思うけど。
Still a question is if he survives though, and he will. There we have it. 2 guns the way of Falcons and Zwei's rifle kept as well.
ちょっと京介のリプレイ欲しいですけどね。
Crazy gun battle inside of mid. Both teams wanted it at the same time.
いやこれよく本当キル入れたよね京介。上側入れたんだ。
Look at this commitment from the defense.
Excellent find from Nico. 2 of them.
いやーただちょっと2個もったいないなこれ。お金もそんなに余裕はないけど。
We know the skill is there. Feels like they're still trying to tap into a bit of luck now, Falcons. So yeah, keep your fingers crossed.
Right, because you even see the mid trades come out slightly ahead for PARIVISION, so it does take that.
That's a Nico X Factor moment here.
Yeah, that's the individual level shining through.
And to do it after eating the grenade damage, like you mentioned.
ただ一応
And we started this game by saying the pressure is on. It has only elevated as Ancients. Now 17 rounds deep. A ton of mid-util once more, and Falcons sign up for a fight that's just not there this time.
Well, they throw their smoke. Wouldn't have mattered. Everybody comes flying through it.
James just tried to go head hunting through red, but with fire to speed, he gave up the angle. Now he's passive in mid.
This
looks like a nice spot here for Falcons. They've taken over mid. They've lost marginal amount of HP. A lot of map control. Looks like a fast idea starting to take fruition.
めちゃくちゃ素晴らしい。まずモネジーのこのショルダービッグ。
Oh, and Monesi misses that chance. That would have been an instant go into the A site.
タイミング合うか合わないかのもうじゃんけんみたいなもんですからね、あのショルダーは。まあ、しょうがないっちゃしょうがないけど。当たってたら。
Jiggling everything across the map, and Zwei doesn't even release the smoke off of that. Taking that confidence, he's not worried about a B pop right away, so that could be a nightmare for Falcons a little bit later on as they reorganize towards the same hit. And now Zwei will use it. We're going to cross 40 seconds. Maybe it's the one smoke he wants for a retake, however, we'll see.
Not forcing the issue as Falcons get closer. Really giving them the space.
It almost looks like they still don't believe this entirely, but the bomb's getting planted now.
That'll confirm it, and as the plant happens, Zwei eats the flashbang. So just tries to tap through in anticipation of Falcons players departing.
女性キルね抜いても入んないの分かってるから、プラント終わった後ピークしてくるところに向けてちょっとタイミングずらして目抜きしたのでちょっとうまかったですね。いやダブルピー。これは全員のポジションがうまかったね。
A four-person save, huh? Ahoy, what do you think about that?
ね、パリ強いですね。
That was 5 players deciding to save.
いやちょっと B のこのファイトね、モネジー参加できないの大丈夫かなと思ったんですけど。パリ側グレもモロトフもなかったから、まあ普通にプラントできて大丈夫でしたね。いやしんどい。
It's on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they'll all make a lot of money off of that just to ensure they get everything they need.
前半折り返しの直前なんとか3ラウンドもぎ取って、
But conversely for Falcons,
ピストル負けて世界めっちゃ惜しくてってとこだけど、またなんとかラウンドもぎ取ってって感じですね。必死に食らいついてますね。
Missing a fair few grenades in this series are PARIVISION.
この辺からもう5キル入ってねラウンド取れたら相手もバイエコの金きつくなっていくのはここから先は CT ですからね。まずミッド取れてんのめちゃくちゃでかい。
2 rounds in a row, there's really nothing there after having been so adamant about the triple attack. James, new position though. Missed opportunity, but the rifler in the corner. Kyosuke knows about it. Zwei's dead. Cielo almost there with him. Still remaining adamant.
But they have cave locked up, so they can actually come back around. Belchnock has no idea nothing's being watched.
Which is wild because that player had just shot at James, who you'd think would have raised the alarm. Instead, very strong takeover of the B bomb site here for Falcons, and PARIVISION starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable in terms of hanging on to this bomb site, whether they believe what's actually in front of them, whether they're in the right spot to actually hold.
Yeah, and they tried something new, a little bit of a forward press as they start to lose numbers even when they're saving.
Tess, who's now walked the entire map essentially, is just going to go chasing to deny these potential saves. James really wants that off, but he's not allowed to keep it, and so Falcons up to an 8th round secured. But how many times have we been here watching PARIVISION start to flail around a little bit?
How has Noda gotten away with this? Surely he dies. Surely.
God damn. 4? Nah,
points
enough. It's damage versus the Falcons
まあ
short.
金はあるからね。
3-round
相
gap
手全員や
between
った
the
方
11 rounds of
がめちゃくちゃ
PARIVISION and the 8 that Falcons
で
just
かいですね。
secured.
ナイス。いや素晴らしいキックさ。
Quality stuff out of Kixan, and again, the info is already passed on that there's 2 at the end of cave. They're watching this.
That kill's crazy.
Yeah, Belchnock just jumps to his death.
これで彼がどうなるかだね。フォースバイかな。絶妙なバイいいんじゃない。サプ2本。
Falcons have been right there on the brink, but Belchnock spams him down. It's another move where this time PARIVISION sign up for the mid fight. In a round where it's James on a 5-7, MP7 for Zwei. Feels like Falcons know what they want their evolution to be here. Respond to the mid-death by just taking over B, but it's a fast move by PARIVISION. And Kickstand's now been popped. Nico gets the headshot back, but there's that yellow SMG to come out and take the edge.
There's another player coming. It's James all the way behind them on the flank. So early to have gone through with this A push.
He pauses. Because PARIVISION realized that this commitment to the B bomb site has seemingly disappeared, but is it because they're just in the corners they stand in, or is it because they're already out middle, heading to the other side of the map? Feels like James is going to figure this out.
Ooh, they're watching the flank. This could be beautiful. I mean, it's such a weird spot to watch. It's actually perfect. Excellent here from Kyosuke, and now they gotta be thinking about A.
They hit that pause button at the right time.
They won't beat him there. Noda's going the extra distance to get into tempo early.
There's a lot of firepower between these four players still left alive, so who's got the edge in this head-to-head? A 12th round on the brink for PARIVISION. Here comes that Noda swing, and Kyosuke gets the kill after the fact. There's a health advantage here for Kyosuke, but we're talking AK-47s and headshots capable by both.
And Zella doesn't look like he's ready for this.
Approaches quietly.
Nice timing.
That's huge. 3 frags and the clutch.
素晴らしいKyosuke。
Kyosuke brings another round home.
Double digits on the other side of this next round.
ね、ちょっとこういうフォースバイ怖かったね。てかここ目抜よく入れてきたねこれ。あ、打たれたから抜いたのか。おお、それはうまいな。
is pretty unreal. For how early that was in the round, that was excellent awareness.
いやー、さすがKyosukeや。
How often you see Jane get caught off trying to pull something like that out?
いや、ワンチャン作られそうだったけど。いや、裏詰めあそこでやれちゃったのがでかいね。
I think what still has me scratching my head is Jane makes that push on the flank. Usually I feel like Jane would make that push where there's like any kind of trade potential.
もし B プラントまでされてたらあの裏取りもね。めちゃくちゃいいポジションになったと思うけど。
Ready to go for that scramble, I suppose. Keeping the distance away from Jane lets you get to A in time.
5-7いやこれがねさっきのフォースバーも怖いけど俺はこれの方がちょっと怖いですけどね 5-7-4 人まず絶対警部いるだろ 5-7、
We'll say it was another round where PARIVISION went for mid play out of the spawn and it was working.
ミニマップの感じ見ると全然いいね映画は入れんだったらいやちょっと B やばいぞあれ 5-7-4 人あんな狭いとこでいやここはファルコンザクリアですねまずよかった素晴らしい
A little too much pressure for James to get that nade where it needed to be, so say at this point save the Kevlar.
いやこれで10対11か。
And instantly a one-round game. Pull this back on T side, very impressive.
分かんなくなってきましたね。
I feel like we need a little bit more from Monasi, maybe to actually close this. Or starting to see too many shots where, and again, you see the the court IQ is there. He's finding chances for the shots. Sometimes he's not landing them.
ただアウプで回収とかはされたくないね。わあもうこれセーブ狩りを素晴らしい。いやセーブされなければいい全然。もうこのラウンドイーブン金きついのはもう CT 側になるからねパリ側。アウプもしくは AK セーブされなかったから全然いいですね。
And now we look at that James 4-kill game that he's got going on.
あくびしてますよほら。
And how that might be a bit of a problem.
重要な1ラウンドになりました。お互いアウトはあるね。
Another big opening move out middle though, right? PARIVISION trying to tap back into this.
Ooh, they're running for it, but the flashes, I feel like we're misaligned. No, not like this, Falcons.
Tess pops his head through the smoke. Nico's on the chase. The lineup's there. That's the double back. That's what they needed.
めちゃくちゃでかい。
He steps up on the chase, avenges Kyosuke and Tesses. That was a sloppy attempt to get out elbowed there by Falcons.
Yeah, that was.
イーブンになりましたね。
It was a little bit mistimed. Not blind
相
enough.
手
Too
も
many
日本の
players
ポジション
there.
はある
James
程度
already shoved himself
分か
forward
って
towards
た
A
だろうけど
main. So again, they always look to get something back.
う
Oh,
わ
what a chance to get another op shot, Monesi. You've got to hit those now.
Belchinok's playing a dangerous game here. That's the Opper, and you know Nico is out there.
He just wants for James to know that it's not going to be Donut, and he
ただ
does
この
have a
ポジ
spot
ショ
to
ン浮い
stand
て
in.
るぞ。
Oh no.
この
We'll
ポジ
find
ショ
out
ン浮
whether
い
this
てる。
haunts the Falcons in the end. They are still cautious on this approach. Nico is changing guns. Belchinok hits it at the right moment. At least Kicksan's there too, because if Kicksan wasn't there, that's both Nico and Monesi down for the count.
What are they threatening here? They want to pull back a B player. They're going to go through Donut. James sitting here.
いや映画は J ブ
On
でも
single, he
J
has
ム
an
4
off
キル
in play.
14ですだから多分アウト外してくれんじゃないこ
Close
れ。
rounds, time and time again. And James from the depths
あ、ショ
of
ート
the
強だ。
scoreboard is going to confirm presence. Comes at him from Donut. Missed shots.
やっ
Backs
ぱ
up.
り
Still has a bit of
アウト
refuge to
外
work
した
with.
ね。
His
あ
counter
ー
is
そ
going
れ
to
は
warrant
ま
him.
ずいか
That's
も。
going to expose the bomb plant. Now Monesi's going to have
後ろ
hands
見
busy.
てる。
Goes for the kills instead.
あ、終わっ
Tries
た。
to just gun him down and it's not going to happen. PARIVISION take a 12 off the mid play, denying Nico's heroic.
How's he got a nade that late into the round? It's perfect for that exact situation.
How does Monesi miss that shot?
I know.
いや絶対映画はアウト外すと思ったな。外したけどさすがに止まってしゃがんでる相手だったら外さないですよと。
Perfect positioning for James too. Just finds a little bit more cover on the edge of that fire.
いや日
There was just so much time pressure. They had to get that bomb planted, or they could have made sure they traded James.
Guns are good, but Monesi's down. Fast clash out mid. This cost the Falcons last round, and so they'll sign back up for it.
They got another molly. They know one's in cutout.
Can Nico do it again? Looking for the
ますぎるそのフラッシュ。あー終わっ
and
た。
stopped out mid. Kicksan will tiptoe his way into a bomb site occupied by James, who pulls circles around the Falcons again. And so maybe in the first head-to-head, it was Falcons that made PARIVISION look better than they are, but now themselves, they step up. And they go from good to great. This is a consistency that this team is starting to find in the evolution of the stage size. From Bounty to Cluj, and now here in Rotterdam, PARIVISION
どっちもうまかったね。どっちもうまかったし、それをまあパリが上回ったって感じですか。いやちょっと京介のね。すごい調子良かったし、京介のプレー、またセミファイナル、グランドファイナルでね、当たるであろうバイタリティに対して、そういうプレーも見たかったですけど、まあパリうまかったな、なんか、やっぱ距離感がいい、打ち合いがうまい、ダブルピークうまい。
First things first, any PARIVISION fans in the
素晴
building?
らしかったです。
I'm
10
standing by
対
with
13
Wayne.
でね、まあラウン
You
ド
just
差
have
3ラウンドになったわけだけ
Falcons
ど、
number. You beat them time
まあ
and
ノタ
time
さんだ
again.
よ
What's the
ね、映
secret?
画は。あ、ゼミンか。ゼミンの 1v1。あともう一人ね、最初の方の前半で 1v1 あって、
You are
それ
becoming
が制
more
して
and
たけ
more
ど、
structured. You are so disciplined
まあ
as
そう
a
いうラウン
team.
ドがね、
How much credit do you want to
最後
give
重なっ
to
て、
Coach Daston and James, and how much are you evolving as a player under their leadership?
まあ今シーズン3回目の対戦だったけど、3-0で3回戦って3回勝ってるわけですからパリ。まあ今後のね、大会のちょっと
It's also so impressive as a team that you
ま
managed to
あ
squash
そ
that
れも
slight
また
piece
一
of
つ楽
momentum
し
that
み
they
ができ
started
たっ
to
て感
build
じで
there
すか。
at the end and close
ま
things
あそんな
out.
感
Did
じ
you
で
think that the
もう朝
victory
4時な
was
んで、
ever in
まあ
danger?
この辺ですかね。明日
No, I don't think so.
23時に
It's
バイ
2-0
タリティ
anyway,
の試合あ
so
るんで、
even
まあ
if
そっ
we lose
ち
one of
ね
these
ま
maps,
だバ
it's
イタ
gonna
リテ
be
ィ残
third
ってる
map
ん
and
で、
it's
まあ明日
so comfortable map for
勝
us.
ち上が
And
ったら明後日もまあ見れたらいい
like I
な
said,
と
they
思い
didn't
ます。
get that dangerous as a good.
であとは
What about you personally? You seem to be
まあ
getting
この試合
better
の
and better as well as a
ね
player
前に
ever since
17
leaving
分ぐら
Spirit
い
and coming to
これは
join
酒飲んで
this roster. Where do you
最
think
近
you've
の
seen the most improvement?
思ったことについて
PARIVISION, of course, because
た
like
だのんびり話して
it's
るんで。
so fast growing and like it's the most comfortable team that I've ever been.
Finally, last point. Have you got a message for your semi-final opponents in Navi?
Be ready.
Be ready. Thank you very much and congratulations.
For the side of the Falcons, but I have been joined on the BDS by none other than Nico. And first of all, Nico, thank you for taking your time sitting here. I can relate to how much it must suck to sit here and talk with me when you've just been eliminated. But I want to ask you, and I want to go back to your Mirage game, where you had a little bit of a stinker, let's be honest. And how is it to be